Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 847, powered by NZXT. I am your host today, Jan Ochoa. Chef Grub, Jeff Backlar out on assignment. Everything's broken. Dan also out on assignment. Run, everyone. If you've ever seen us in person, shook our hands, give a warm hug, your body is going to break down soon, and that is just a guarantee. Our own star player, I used that last week. I'm going to continue to use again because the statement is still true.
That's good. It's good.
Lucy James.
Hello. So I'm just pouring my coffee. So if you're listening at home, that's what that sounded.
You're pouring a coffee or peeing into a cup.
And don't even ask. But I wanted to shout out ABC because they got me this mug, I believe, at Giant Bomb Live, and it's my new. I rotate my mugs around, and so this Snoopy mug's Week in the Sun, and I love it so much. Thank you, ABC.
Speaking about a week in the sun, we are graced with his presence. He shines bright like a diamond and the sun. Timur Hussein.
Oh, I thought you were talking about someone else there. Hello, I am drinking from a water bottle that has this dumb Batman on it.
Speaking about
I
Batman,
love that Batman.
He's our own Batman. He's our caped crusader. He perches on rooftops. He hangs out with gargoyles. He avenges us. He has a strategy to take us all down, and I'm scared that I'm next. Mike Minotti.
Hi, I have a tortured past and a dark alter ego, and I'm drinking from this Subway cup filled with mostly Diet Coke. You put a splash of just normal Dr. Pepper in there, though, and it kind of just tastes like Dr. Pepper. It's nice.
We laid down a challenge in certain parameters for Mike, which is going to be very difficult because of my show and tell segment here.
Yes.
I went to a Giants game over the weekend. The game started at 1, but there was a certain giveaway. And then my partner and I thought, wow, we need this giveaway. So let's get there at 10 o'clock, way too early for a baseball game. And then, I got mixed feelings already on baseball, especially the San Francisco Giants. But, Mike Minotti, look at this new silly hat I got. Look.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. It seems to have two circular objects attached to the top of it in a kind of symmetrical pattern. Doesn't remind me of anything specifically, though. Pretty cool, though, Jan.
Audio listeners can't see it, but Mike is just like straining right now. You see the vein in his forehead as he's gripping his
that meme
disc.
kid.
Yeah, I'm trying to make my best friend Tam happy. They want me to not talk about something specifically here, and I'm going to show Tam that I can do it.
My other favorite observation from the weekend at this baseball game, we were playing against the Dodgers, and as a Bay Area resident born and raised, I've been conditioned to hate the Dodgers for no specific reason other than them being from LA. But I could not hate on the adorable little old Asian women with their Shohei Ohtani jerseys repping for Shohei. I'm like, damn, there's two people that love Shohei Ohtani the most. All these old Asian women and Michael Heim.
Yep.
Michael loves him.
Yeah.
He's a Hohei for Shohei.
Is that what they're called?
That's what they're called today, baby.
It should be.
They should be.
When I was in Little Tokyo recently, I guess that's really close to where the Dodgers play because everybody was walking around in Dodgers uniforms and stuff. There's all sorts of stuff even in Little Tokyo for them. I thought that was neat.
How's everyone doing? How was the weekend?
Good.
It was
I'm
good.
seeing the Beach Boys tonight.
They're still alive?
Some of them must be. I don't know how many, but enough of them are alive that they are performing in Youngstown, Ohio tonight as the Beach Boys. So
Is Uncle Jesse going to be there?
I hope so. Made me think of something I can't talk about. But yeah, I hope Uncle Jesse is there. We have similar interests that I won't go into detail about, me and him.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I have no idea what to expect. We're taking my mom as like an early birthday gift. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess it would be neat to say I saw the Beach Boys in some form or another. I'm not really sure what to be expecting quality-wise or, authenticity-wise here. But whatever. I'll get a beer. I'll watch them play their guitars and talk about waves in the ocean and,
Are they the Kokomo?
They are, but that's the one that Uncle Jesse is really involved with.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I associate Kokomo with the Muppets.
I associate with the Trolls. I had a VHS tape with like Muppet Trolls, actually, like made by Jim Henson Muppets, and it was just a vignette of music videos, and one of them was Kokomo. So that's
Were the
what I
Beach
think
Boys
of
a big thing over there for y'all?
I mean, I enjoyed the Beach Boys a lot. This tour is very intense, by the way. It's like July all the way through to the end of October.
Oh, dang.
I mean, who's the touring band? For more than 6 decades, members Brian Wilson, Mike Love, Al Jardine, and then like all of them have social networks. And then there's Dennis Wilson, Carl Wilson, Bruce Johnston, and David Marks, which is the one who was involved with the Manson family.
Oh, what do you mean involved? How involved? I would like to know.
Like, no, didn't one of them, like, the Mansons, like, basically tried to befriend and then, like, I think played music with them?
Oh, no. Okay.
Something like that?
Yeah,
I'd have to Google it.
Okay, well, I believe you.
Was
but,
that
like, you know-
Uncle Jesse?
Uncle Jesse? I think it was
Charles Manson, Beach Boys.
Charles Manson, Beach Boys. Yeah.
Never Learn Not to Love was a song recorded by the American rock band The Beach Boys, credited to Dennis Wilson. The song is an altered version of Cease to Exist, written by the Manson family cult leader Charles Manson.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
Because Manson also has a thing with the Beatles, and he thought that Helter Skelter was some kind of order for him to kill people, right? So
Yeah,
he has a
yeah,
weird
yeah.
relationship with music.
Interesting. Well, I see here July 28th, Lucy Tam, if y'all aren't doing anything, they're going to be in sunny San Jose. Tickies are...
Little road trip down.
Wait for my review. Let's see what these Beach Boy fellas got in the year of our Lord 2024, and I'll let you know if it's worth a little trip or not.
I don't even know where they're playing. I don't know this venue.
I mean, yeah, I saw the Who when they were like 70, and they were still good, still really good. Whatchamacallit? The Rolling Stones still killing it. So
Okay.
I don't know.
It was the oldest person I saw. I saw Bob Seger like 3 or 4 years ago. He was very old. It was still fun. I saw Paul McCartney probably like 12 years ago now, and he was like old then, but it was still great. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun. Plus, it's Youngstown, Ohio, so I don't have to like drive to some city. It's like a 10-minute drive. So yeah, what the hell, we'll go.
Do you think they have new music? Do you think they've updated like the Beach Boys vibe?
Come on, they better not. They better not be like, "We're the Beach Boys. Here's our new song." Come on.
Yeah,
No.
they are surfing USA. Okay, they are.
Yeah.
You know, come on, they're not.
No, play Pet Sounds. Yeah, that's like,
Who's
come
that?
on.
Who's that other band that showed up to San Francisco recently and took over the city? Grateful Dead.
Oh,
Yeah, but it was
they're
the
always-
last
okay.
show. It was
They
the
seem to
last
be doing
proper
okay.
show, and there were a bunch of deadheads. We went to get brunch, and like the entire restaurant was just full of deadheads. And there was like one person being like, "I've seen them over 100 times," and I was like, "I love that."
They seem to hang out in that area because we went to get brunch again at the same place the other day, and on the walk there, I saw 2 people wearing a Grateful Dead t-shirts. So I was like, oh, maybe they just hang out in this area.
There's a lot of Grateful Dead heads hanging out in SF at all times.
Yeah, I
They're
feel
the
like
ones with
that's
the
where
bear,
they
right?
congregate.
The Beanie Baby.
No, I swear there's a Grateful Dead bear. I don't know.
Well, Garcia was the
the
most
bear.
rare Beanie Baby for a bit, and it was named after.
Yeah.
From the
They
Grateful Dead.
got this bear everywhere in this city.
And don't
Yeah.
forget the Ben and Jerry's flavor, Cherry
Right.
Garcia.
Yes. Oh God, I could go for ice cream. But
I don't know if
lately-
I could name a Grateful Dead song. I gotta be honest.
I don't think I've ever heard a Grateful Dead song either.
Right? It's like I can imagine the vibe, right? But if you told me like name a song or to sing one, like, I don't know. I'm in trouble.
don't know if
Yeah,
I
I
could
couldn't
name
do
the
this.
vibe.
I can't do it either.
They never had hits. Okay, that's interesting. I think I would confuse them with the Dire Straits. If I convinced myself that Sultan of Swing was a Grateful Dead song, I might be able to pull that off.
This is because my brain is slightly Disney pilled. But sometimes whenever I
Not
see
mine.
the Grateful Dead skull, of course, never you, Mike. I'm sorry for even mentioning it.
Yes, please. It's so annoying when you bring this up.
I know it's my one thing. I always think their Grateful Dead skull, how it looks like the Pepsi logo. I always think it's the Rescue Rangers icon. or the logo, and it gives me a little pop.
Oh yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not familiar with that program.
Mike, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. You don't have to hide anymore.
Probably
This is
doesn't
safe
have a
space.
banging theme song or anything. With an incredible sax solo. Probably doesn't, yeah.
Everyone else is good. We're okay. It's going to be a shorter week here at GBHQ because of the holidays. We don't got to talk about the actual holidays.
I gotta talk about.
Well, what's happened? Something happened recently to hurt anybody's patriotism? What? No way.
Never. So I was at a county fair, right? And
I'm going to one this week.
is it the Alameda County Fair?
No, I'm going Marin.
Oh,
Going north. But the problem is, Jan, we're gonna get hit with a heat wave this week.
Yeah.
And
We're hit with it now.
It's
not
stupid
me.
right now.
I
It
live
is
on top
crazy
of, I
over
live on
there.
top of a hill. Yeah, it must be. In your neighborhood is always way warmer than mine. But last year when we went to the county fair, it was the hottest day of the year, and that was not even with a heat wave. So I'm genuinely concerned that I will melt like the Wicked Witch of the East. I don't know. I've never seen Wicked.
The West
What?
is the one who melts,
Okay.
I believe. At
Well-
the end, wow. Oh, what a world, what a world.
The
Someone
show's
who melts.
always playing here. You've never seen it?
What, Wicked?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, never seen it. I don't know any. No, wait. Is Fabulous the song from Wicked?
No.
Oh no, that's from High School
Defying
Musical
Gravity.
too.
Defying
Of course.
Gravity.
The Sharpays hit song at High School Musical too. Only comes second to Bet on it though. Popular is what you may be thinking.
not
Popular
familiar.
is the one I mean. Popular is the one I mean. But the problem is with Wicked is the movie's lighting looks really flat. I don't know.
Well, that's the movie. We don't gotta worry about the movie.
Okay.
The musical is great.
Music. Okay. You know what, Jen? I'll make a point to go see it.
No. We're gonna go see it. Mike, you're invited.
Yes.
Because I've actually never seen Wicked.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm still bitter.
Is
My
that the
brother's
which one?
That's
it's
the which one?
It's the Wizard of Oz one, where it's
Is that
like
affiliated to Disney or no?
no, that's MGM stuff. Don't worry, we're good. It's
MGM,
MGM / public domain. It's fine. But yeah, my brothers went to see it one time, and it was like a double date for them. And they're like, "You can't go." I was like, "I want to see Wicked." I still give
Don't
them
worry,
crap
Mike. We
for
will
it.
rectify that. We'll make
Please.
sure that you
Please.
you can
Thank
come. No,
Mhm.
you can bring 2 dates if you want, and then we'll just awkwardly
there
sit
we
behind
go.
you.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah,
It'll be
Hey,
like
Lucy,
one of
what
the-
are you doing?
It'll be one of those fun situations where you have 2 dates and you gotta like balance between both at the same time.
Oh, just gotta keep going. Oh, I'm gonna go get popcorn. Oh, I'm gonna go to the
Oh,
bathroom.
It's
okay.
the missed out fire effect.
Like like a bad '90s sitcom episode. Okay, yeah, I'm into that.
And
sorry,
I mean
Jack.
that's our
I was gonna say you said you were going to a fair, or you went to a county fair.
too hot. I can't do Pleasanton. Pleasanton way too hot.
Yeah,
I
See,
never
this is
want to
my
go
fear.
again.
it was unpleasanton.
It was very
Ah.
unpleasant. And also, despite knowing that the Alameda County Fair and knowing how counties work, I keep thinking this county fair is going to be so much closer and be in Alameda. Yet I have to drive an hour away to Pleasanton. No bueno. I didn't even know
it's
Marin
far.
had a county fair. I wanna
Did
go
you
to
see
Marin
the?
now.
It does. Did you see the piglet racing?
I did see the piglet racing actually. Very good
This
puns.
is cute.
I wanted to volunteer
Yeah,
to be
very good puns.
one of the judges, but then they picked the children over me, and I can't.
A
stand
child was, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Our big fair's in August. It's because of the Canfield Fair. I'm not really a big fan of the fair. I gotta be honest.
Why is
It's
that?
a little. It's a lot. It's a lot with the smells and the,
The sounds.
animals,
Yeah.
the sounds, the rides. I don't know. Like we had our local fireworks on Saturday, and they like bring out some of those trucks there, and like that's enough for me. I'll get my fried cheese on a stick thing, and I'll watch fireworks. That's all the fair flavor that I need.
I remember why I brought it up now. There was a local school art fair showcase in one of the booths.
Oh yeah.
And there was a certain wood interpretation of the American flag that maybe favors other people of a certain
Oh,
profession
no.
over others.
Oh no!
And then I was like, huh, that's cool. This is supposed to be wood, and you painted that specific line the color blue. Okay.
Interesting.
Fun.
Interesting.
You got 3rd place. All right. Suck it, kid.
They got third
there
place.
you go.
They got 3rd place. I don't know how
that's
many
like-
kids entered.
That's like worse than getting nothing. I don't want.
I hope it was one.
Third place means that you did notice me and thought it wasn't good enough for anything but the worst prize.
We did like turn around and there were a bunch of like little kid poems on the wall, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. I love little kid poems and see how they interpret the world. They're all bad. They're all bad.
Yeah.
Man.
The
Kids
are messed
suck
up.
these days, man.
When I went to
Yeah.
some kids are great.
Yeah, some.
Yeah.
When I went to the Alameda County Fair, they have those little they have little exhibits, I guess. Did you see this?
Damn,
and then
exhibit was there?
the one
Shit.
exhibit was there. No, and so one of them was just spam, a whole exhibit about spam.
Hell yeah.
Wait,
And
like email spam or the meat?
No, the meat.
Hell
Oh.
yeah.
The meat.
Man, spam's had something of a glow. When I was a kid, it was just the subject of jokes. It was supposed to be disgusting. And now I see like YouTube, like, spam's great. Fry up some spam. It's the best thing you've ever eaten. I might have to try spam finally.
Mikey, I like next time I see. Are you okay with seaweed?
No, I don't like the seaweed taste
never
flavor.
mind.
I mean, look, if you want me to eat some seaweed, I'll eat some seaweed. It's not like it's not an Apple thing where it's a phobia. I'll eat some seaweed if you think it's integral to your spam plan.
Yes, it's integral to my spam
Kind
plan.
of is, yeah.
In Hawaii, one of my favorite things that I bought from Maui was a special edition can of spam. It was great.
Oh, what was special edition about it?
It was just more yellow in the front with a flower.
Ooh.
It was very special. I did not bust open the spam despite being hungry. We're gonna have
spam. You gotta save that.
we're gonna have spam, and we're gonna watch Wicked, and gonna see the Beach Boys. That is the
Sounds
plan for
amazing.
the rest of the summer. Mike, you're invited. Everyone else listening right now, you're also invited. But right now, we gotta talk about video games. Never microwave spam. Don't. God bless my late grandmother, but never microwave spam for your loved ones. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Spam in the place that I live. It's the best. That was a Weird Al song. Maybe that's why I assume spam was a joke.
My TikTok has given me so many clips of that Weird Al movie. With,
Yes, that happened to me.
it's
yesterday.
good.
Daniel Radcliffe. Apparently, it's really good. I mean, like, I really enjoyed the clips, and Daniel Radcliffe is singing. Like,
Is he
he's
singing?
doing all that.
No, he's not.
No,
I
it
think- I
doesn't
think
look
it's
like
just
he's
Weird
I thought
Al.
I thought he was singing.
No, it's
I-
just Weird Al.
Is it actually? Aw, man.
It looks desynced in a way. All the clips look like a millisecond off, and you can tell he's like something weird is going on.
Yeah, it's. I think
Damn.
it's all purposeful though.
That-
It's a good movie. Hot
That's
wreck.
the guy I
do
may
wanna
have
watch
seen
that.
live more than anyone else is Weird Al Yankovic.
Daniel Radcliffe? Oh.
No, Weird Al, especially as a kid. God, I think I saw him 3 times in one tour. The Running with Scissors tour, the legendary one.
No, this
Incredible.
checks out. This checks
Oh, it's
out.
good.
Weird Al has had to dance through a lot of weird copyright and IP laws. It can be very dangerous in dealing with, just like it's dangerous to deal with Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree.
Oh,
Nail it.
damn.
Yay.
Incredible
Mikey, it says
movie.
you've played this here, and I know that Tam and Lucy have played it, but tell me
I-
about your adventures.
I finished it. I beat it over the weekend. Oh, damn it. But yeah, yep. I got through the whole thing. I got all the major remembrances, so I fought all of the major bosses. The last boss, without getting too specific, everyone's talking about it's hard, and it was. It took me 43 attempts. I know, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, how disappointing would it be if the last boss wasn't hard, right? I mean, it's kind of the last boss of all of Elden Ring at this point. So yeah, it should be this impressive challenge, and it's this very dramatic fight. It's a very cool fight. I may have even had an advantage. It's hard to tell, but it seems like people think a shield build is the way to go, and that just happens to have been my build throughout all of Elden Ring. I think that's fair because in base Elden Ring, like Millennia, and maybe I'm missing something, shields were really bad against her because her Scarlet Rot thing just went through the shield. So blocking did nothing on that one. So like that was a fight, at least for me. I gotta just summon other people and I'm gonna kind of do my best, whatnot. No, Radon I was able to do with just me and the Mimic, and boy, the Mimic does help. I actually never got the Mimic tier until trying that fight for a bit. Like, this is pretty hard. Everyone's like, you should probably get the Mimic tier. I was like, okay, I guess I'll finally do that. And yeah, that was a big help. Along with, the Skibbity tree fragments, I got to level 16. The max is 20. So I had to get all of them. But 16 was enough to get me there. But yeah, it was, it felt really great to beat that boss. The bosses in general, I thought, were really neat. Some of my favorite in the whole game. Like the first 3 major ones, that Lion, the Moon Girl, and then Mesmer, were really, really cool. That dragon you fight on top of the mountain with that guy that Grub killed immediately because he has no
It's a
self-control.
Bale!
Yeah, just screaming. I love that for him. So yeah, I had a really good time with the expansion. I don't want to get too much into the difficulty discourse, other than to me, it did not seem that different from my experience with base Elden Ring. Again, that last boss was hard, but of course it is. It's the last boss. It wasn't anything that I wasn't able to overcome eventually.
Yeah. I have decided I'm just going to wait until maybe September, October to go into Shadow of the Erdtree. Gonna wait for all the heat to die down. Gonna wait for everyone else to figure everything else out.
A lot of games coming out around then, Jan.
Yeah,
don't
you're
tell
in a
me.
right now. You're in
Yeah.
a bit of a dead zone where playing something like this is perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
see, this is like the dead zone that we're in, and I was thinking like, well, I know what to expect with Shadow of the Erdtree. Maybe we go explore the back catalog of a bunch of miscellaneous crap.
That's a very frequent trap that people fall into, where they where they add a massive game to their backlist, and I'm like, I'll play this later. I'll play a small game right now.
I want to just like maybe take like a Sunday or something and just dedicate the whole day of like, all right, I got like 2 more hours in this game, an hour left in that game.
Mopping up. Hey.
Oh,
Ooh,
little
good old mop up.
grab
Yeah.
Good
bag.
old mop up. I like
Good
it.
old mop up bag.
How many times has that gone well for you?
It's never gone well, and then I always
Exactly.
wait till the week before we leave for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So like, all right, cool.
It only really works if you know specifically like 1 or 2 games that you need to finish up.
Yeah. And the problem is, for me, I would definitely be motivated once I get into Elden Ring to just stick with the rhythm because, like, you know, the muscle memory is so important. I've taken so much time now from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that I don't know if I want to go back.
Yeah. You
I
were
don't know if I
saying
want to
that.
mop it up.
I think you and Jeff were saying that, like, yeah, it's fine. And look, as somebody that's their game of the year, it hurts a little bit, but I get it. If you don't have as much of like an attachment to. Oh yeah, but you know, I'm a big Final Fantasy guy, and
That's true.
I'm like a sicko. Like the thing people complain about the game, like there's too many mini games. I love that shit. Oh, the stupider the mini game, the better. I'm like, oh yeah, this feels like a PS1 game in all the ways. That's really scratching an itch for me. I love that garbage.
I just want to see the ending though, because of how polarizing it seemed to be when it came out.
YouTube
and then,
it.
Yeah.
You could just
It's
YouTube
fine,
it.
dog. Like it is.
You could yeah.
I maintain that as one of the worst paced games I've played in a long time.
Okay.
But if you really just want to see the ending, like just hit the YouTube, man. Let's go.
Yeah, it's
Hello,
interesting.
YouTube.
I mean, you know, yeah, I don't want to get too into it, but you can still enjoy the game knowing what the ending. I mean, hey, look, in some ways, I mean, it's a remake. Right, the ending, we kind of know what it is, and you can see this interpretation of it, and if you still want to play the game, you'll be fine. Kind of going back to Elden Ring, it is interesting, like seeing like a bit more discourses kind of pop up about it. I'm seeing some criticisms laid out about how some of the map feel. People are saying unfinished, and I think that's maybe a bit rough. But I don't know if you've seen this, Tam. Like people are kind of complaining about some of those more bonus areas and how kind of relatively empty or less dense they can feel compared to kind of that sort of left area of the map. That's kind of where all of the main path is, right? And then when you're going off to like those giant ruined areas where it's nothing but you kind of ride your horse to the hand and you blow into the horn, right? I think that's something people point out.
That's a narrative thing. Like it's
Yeah,
an
it
area
doesn't
designed
bother
to
me.
be. Yeah, I feel like that area serves a purpose. It's not designed to be a thing where you really explore and like fight a bunch of enemies. It has a major narrative purpose. Like that area is huge implications for the story and character stuff. So, and it's meant to be arresting instead of challenging. So when I got there, I spent a lot of time in there looking around and trying to figure out what was going on and what it meant. But it doesn't have loads of boss. I mean, one of them has a boss, but you kind of have to go to 2 other ones before you get to it. So it serves a function I think is as important as having loads of gameplay opportunities there.
If I had any actual like criticisms, I don't love the way the side quests work, even in base Elden Ring, where I really would have no idea what is a side quest or how to progress a side quest without like, you know, the online guides. and like I know it's like that's kind of the fun of it. It's like, oh, it's like the schoolyard thing. You have to kind of talk to people to figure out what it is. But this day and age, it really is just, well, I'm going to Google what am I supposed to do next. And a lot of times it's kind of like random. Like, okay, Lita's saying this. I need her to say that. Well, you have to talk to this person and do this thing. It's sometimes nonsensical, right? I mean, there's like the one thing where, without too many spoilers, you do something and it kills you. You're like, well, that's bad, right? It's like, well, no, do that. Let it kill you 3 more times and then maybe something happens. And, it's very cryptic. And I get the crypticness is part of the fun of it.
Yeah, it's more a case of like the general rule has been since Demon Souls, like once you do anything significant or you feel like you've done a certain amount of progress, you just should do a sweep of all the NPCs where you know they are and just talk to them. And they kind of make that a little easier by putting icons on the map to say like, here's where the NPCs are. So like the best practice is just speak to everyone, because chances are they'll have something new to say, unless they're a vendor, in which case they'll probably just say the same thing over and over again. But I feel like there's only really one that I lost track of because I just kept sweeping through everyone. It takes like a couple minutes to do it anyway. Usually they're mostly located in the same areas, like the near the
Mesmer's
kind of
Palace
like,
has a bunch of them.
yeah, Mesmer's area, but also like the Mikola's runes. They're usually hanging around there.
Yes.
It's basic kind of like RPG style approach to it.
Well,
the other thing that maybe bugged me, the skibbity tree fragments, I think that was a smart system to have the power kind of scale to this new thing instead of it just being player level. But it kind of got to a point where, every time you go off a beaten path or you fight a boss or something, you want specifically those skibbity tree shadow tree fragments so much that if you got almost anything else, it was kind of like, well, this is worthless. Like, right? It's like, oh, great, another Ash of War that isn't the Mimic tier, or another spell, and I'm a strength build. It's like, it did kind of become like, it's a scavenger hunt for this one item, and everything else is bad news.
Yeah, I think the thing
I was going to say, so they moved stuff around from the review build to the main release. Like, they actually moved items. And unfortunately, now that means I have no idea where the Thorn Ash of War is. I followed, I was seeing everyone saying, oh my god, it's really fun, it's like really broken, I wanted to try it out. And I went back and I looked at my inventory, I don't have it. I went to the place where all the YouTube and all the guides say that it is, and it's not there, and I'm just like, well, shit. So I wonder how much else has moved.
Yeah, I think the thing that they did really well in the base game that they could have done here, but they chose not to for some reason, is have more. In the base game, they had more golden seeds than you need. You can like have an excess of them and have like max out all the stats on that you would use the golden seed for. Whereas the skibbity fragments, there are an exact amount, and it means that if you like don't. Like, for example, I've got like maybe a few that I haven't collected. I have no idea where they are. Like,
at this point, it's not happening.
I can't remember where they are. And like, thankfully, like I'm still playing the game, so I'm running around and doing stuff for funsies. But the only way for me to really figure it out is to sit down with a guide and go to each one by one and see if they're there.
I think that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for folks to find me the most critical path. And speaking about path, Tam, you've been following a certain path.
Yes.
You've been following.
Goddess.
Exactly. I can't say it.
You can do it. I believe in you. Give it another shot.
Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess.
Nailed it. You did it. Yeah.
Grub's been grubbing off on me. Sorry.
Kunitsu-Gami, Path of the Goddess demo for it is out now. That's what I played. It was available to play at Summer Game Fest, but I didn't get a chance to play it there, so I'm very glad that they released the demo. I think it's the same build. Very interesting game. It is decidedly old school Capcom-like in that they made a game that is very weird, and it feels like it's from the same stable as stuff like Okami and like God Hand and Beautiful Joe, where they came up with a weird idea. I can't. That would make the podcast bad. They came up with a goofy idea and they're just running with it. Not goofy, but it is effectively a tower defense game, which is interesting. But the whole thing is like it looks like you're climbing up a very, very, very large mountain, because like there's a stage select and it's superimposed. The levels are superimposed over a mountain, and there's loads of shrines on the way up there. And I was like scrolling down the mountain. It's like very large. And the setup is you start on one side, you have a princess or a goddess, I guess, and you effectively have to just carve a path through like a miasma of demon darkness in each level so that she can walk along it, or dance along it. And there's a day-night cycle where at night waves of enemies appear, and during the day you have to run around and cleanse villagers and chop down these weird plants that have been growing to collect resources and use that to assign roles, upgrade roles, and then use it to carve the path. So you get these little orbs, and that effectively is a kind of meter for you. So you run up to where the goddess is, and you hold circle, I think it was, and then you hold forward, and your character will run forward and kind of cut his way through a darkness path, and create this kind of golden path for her to walk along. And then there's complexities, like you can assign villagers to quickly defend or attack defend the goddess or attack the target that you're on. And then there's like a character action light game in there as well, where you directly control your character, move him around, and do like square 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 triangle, or square 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 delay triangle, that kind of stuff to take out enemies. And it works surprisingly well. It doesn't feel like it has anything new idea wise in it, but I think they've just gone through and like put together a really tight loop, and then kind of encases that all in a very Japanese, very Clover era aesthetic for the game, and it works really well. Surprisingly, I'm not super into tower defense games, or I haven't been in a long time.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed what I played. The demo has like a couple of stages, and a boss fight, and a upgrade system that you can take a look at, which is fun. You go into like a town area that you're constantly coming back to, and then the princess or the goddess is sitting there, and you're like, she's got a table in front of her, and she's got a couple of books and a plate with some food on it, and you interact with it, and it's an upgrade your character and upgrade your villagers, etc., etc. It seems fun. It's also like very fireworksy, which I think is the kind of aesthetic that they're going for. They like, I think the main thing is like everything you do is like a fireworks sound. It's like beep 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 beep. It's like so weird, but it also fun. It's very
perfect for 4th of July.
Upbeat in a way that I didn't expect. But
I played this at Summer Game Fest, and I think it is just this demo that you're talking about. And I mean, when I was shocked that it was so tower defensy, that when I first saw that trailer, I was like, oh, they're just making a hack and slash. So even though tower defense isn't my favorite thing either, but I'm glad that there's something here besides just basic hack and slash. And I thought the boss fight specifically was cool, because there's almost a bit more of a Pikmin thing happening there as opposed to tower defense, with kind of setting your people at the boss at certain times and making them retreat at other times. And like the combo system is neat too, because it's basically you have light attacks and heavy attacks, and every combo is like 1 light attack and a heavy attack, 2 light attacks and a heavy attack, 3 right. So it's all simple, but it all does different things. I was into it.
There's also like certain enemies have a overshield that you need to use specific attacks to bring down. And then once you factor that into the waves of enemies, you have like a target prioritization strategy that you need to come up with and execute on. And it's got just enough moving parts to keep various parts of your own brain occupied and your hands moving, and it has that satisfaction of like, I know I need to do XYZ in this moment, and you quickly run and tick it off, and then you run back to the goddess and move her forward, and it has that constant feeling of forward momentum. And when it does block you with a large group of enemies, you have the tools available to you to quickly shift strategies and execute on it, and then go step back and be like, yeah, I nailed that one, and carry on. And if they really, I think the important thing is going to be how do they structure the levels around this, because the kind of setup phase during the day has a nice like, you move your character and also like run around, do these small areas, but how elaborate does it become? I can see it becoming very, very like overwhelming for some people, because there's like loads of paths, and it's like you put one person here, one person there, and then you have to sometimes move them around on the fly or run up to them and change their role quickly. And I had situations sometimes where 2 characters would be standing next to each other, and I'd keep accidentally changing the wrong role, and I'd be like hitting. The UI is a bit messy, but I think it's just a case of like, I'll get there eventually, or once I've done it enough times, it will click for me.
When's the last time y'all enjoyed a tower defense game?
It's not usually my thing. Star Fox Guard on the Wii U.
Oh boy.
I like a Bloons.
Oh,
Bloons Tower Defense on
Bloons.
iOS.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, if 13 Sentinels counts, yeah, 13 Sentinels is actually pretty great.
I guess. Okay, yeah. Sure,
Kind
sure.
of. It's kind of strategy, kind of that, yeah.
I guess does the mini game in Final Fantasy Rebirth count? That was pretty fun. Fort Condor.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Kind
was
of tower defensey, right?
kind of more of a Clash Royale like,
Yeah,
right?
I guess so.
Oh, don't say that. I might get activated. There's a Bloons 6. Good for
Yeah,
the
is it
Bloons
on? I
thing.
think it's on Apple Arcade. There was definitely a Bloons on Arcade.
Oh my god.
I used to love Bloons a lot.
I never cared for Plants vs. Zombies. I just gotta admit it now.
Oh,
Oh.
you know, we
Mikey.
can still be friends, but I didn't even think about Plants vs Zombies. But yeah, that's the one. I'm one of those people who I will get on a flight and I will just complete Plants vs Zombies like in one sitting. So
Okay.
big gaming hours.
I
Brutal
remember
Legend.
when, like, what's that?
Brutal Legend?
Oh boy. I enjoyed all the other aspects of Brutal Legend other than the tower defense.
I remember, like, I don't know if this is where it originated. I remember just playing tower defense games because they were custom maps in Warcraft 3. I think that's the first time I encountered them.
I think that's the origin of
Yeah.
tower defense. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like that. You played weird early Dota back when it was actually Defense of the Ancients and stuff like that. But those formulative stuff happening in those custom maps back then.
Speaking about formulative stuff and places of origin, a game that I've been playing ever so slightly is, until then, a game that takes place in the Philippines. My people's place of origin. This is
What
a neat
people is
little
that?
game. What's up?
What people is that?
What? Filipino?
Oh, okay.
What do you think he meant?
And I thought that'd be.
Philippines.
I thought it was a funny question, and I was right.
Cancelled, Mitch.
That was a good question. All right. Look.
Jansel him.
This is another little story, visual novel-y-esque game. This has kind of been my bag lately. 1,000 Times Resist kind of got a little too deep and existential for me. So
I worry
thought,
about that.
yeah, there were parts of it where I kind of had to put the Steam Deck down, realize I'd just taken 20 screenshots in the past like 5 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to put this down. It's making me think too hard about my existence and my place in the greater universe and whether any of it matters. I can't think like this right now at midnight. Anyway, but Until Then is a very quaint coming-of-age tale set in the Philippines, and this immediately had me charmed from the get-go with the little nuances to Filipino culture. It starts with kind of like a title text crawl as it's going through about like who I assume is the main character, kind of reflecting on the events of the game further into the game. And it's all set to the cheesiest sad piano music that is so prolific throughout Filipino cinema that I fucking hate. But hearing it here, it's like, oh, they're doing the thing. Look at them. They're doing the thing. Oh my God. And then, yeah, I'm a big proponent, I think we all are, for representation in video games, and it's just really cool to see stuff that I'm like semi-familiar with represented in a video game. This takes place in Philippines in 2014, so we're just getting to the advancement of like social media and how prolific that is.
Oh my God!
Over there.
The idea that 2014 is like some like old date now. That's upsetting. But
It's
okay.
10 years ago, buddy.
I guess it was. Oh boy.
And it's fun so far because they do a good job of mixing how they're telling the story other than just straight up dialogue sequences where, your phone plays a big role into it. Mark, your player character, his relationship with a piano also starts to play into it and how music evolves into it with his relationship with it. Yes, Tam.
Is Mark a Filipino name?
Yes, Mark is a huge
Okay, cool.
Filipino name.
Okay, great. Just making sure.
Can I say, oh hi, Mark?
Yes, that's...
Oh hi, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. And yeah, there's like just tons and tons of like little Easter eggs alluding to Filipino culture. It's really heartwarming to see, even down to having the player characters wear uniforms to school because that's such a big thing in the Philippines of having uniforms to private schools. And then the main character being like, nah, I don't want to take the bus. Bus is too dirty. And then even seeing all of the litter on the streets, I'm like, damn, that's home over there. That's home. They allude, of course, have to allude to Jollibee, but instead of doing Jollibee, they have Angry Cow, I believe it's called.
Very good. Very good.
And yeah, some of the background chatter is in Tagalog, which is really neat to see. I really want to. I have no idea how long this is supposed to be, and I hope this doesn't give me another existential crisis that I have to bounce off of it temporarily. But it's really cute so far. It's funny because I got an achievement for lying to a friend, so I think I'm just going to continue doing that.
Oh, no.
Yes, Tam.
Is lying to a friend a Filipino thing?
100%. Michael Hyman and I have never been truthful with each other.
That doesn't get him canceled. That's like that's a negative. I was just asking a dumb question.
Brown's good for the get down, but we did think you could have passed as a Filipino at one point, Mike.
Yeah, if I'd gotten the sun, I don't know.
The thing that got you is that you weren't able to point with your lips. See,
No.
now it's just like you're making kissy faces.
Yeah,
Wait,
what's
with your
going on there?
lips.
Point with my
Wait,
lips. Can you
what is-
demonstrate
wait,
for
I-
me?
What's
Yeah,
pointing
you
with
just
your
point
lips?
with your
What?
lips.
Well, show me.
Oh, see, Tam got it.
Tam's good.
Yeah.
very
Okay, you're
common.
getting there, Mike.
Like,
No,
I
see, Lucy,
feel-
that's
I
too
feel like
much.
I'm trying to take a-
You have to
crunching.
kind of tilt your head as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to like take a sip of something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like you're taking a
wait,
quick
wait.
sip, but pointing. Oh, that was
no.
close.
Yeah,
that
we
was
got it.
close, Lucy. Okay,
That
see,
was it,
it's
that was it.
Yeah.
it's less like
Yeah.
side lip
prob-
movement and just
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah. For audio listeners, I did it the best for sure.
absolutely, you did.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know
absolutely.
what we're doing here.
Going from
Also, my internet is like kind of dipping in and out, so I am like 3 or 4 seconds behind all of you, and I'm just trying to be like, which is peak podcasting. This is what it looks like, guys.
Well, I'll set you up, Lucy, for you to talk for an extended period of time that we won't interrupt, because this game takes place in 2014, much like a game that you're currently playing and put on the dock here, Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh, nice.
Jan, that was an unbelievable segue.
Wow.
'Cause, yeah, it
I'm
has
trying
been
today.
10 years since Dragon Age Inquisition. You're nailing it. I have decided to replay Dragon Age Inquisition because Dragon Age: The Veilguard is coming out this year. Because I like having a bunch of stuff on my plate at all times. I want to replay it because I want to feel the love for that little Eggman all over again.
I want to
It's-
feel something again.
I want to feel something again. And I was playing it the other day, and I like made a character, made an elf, and I was like, I made an elf rogue, not happy with it. Went back, made another character, made a Canary warrior, not happy with them. And so then yesterday I went back and I made an elf mage, which is really annoying because that is the exact character that I made 10 years ago, and I wanted to do something different. But this time I'm not going to date Cullen. If you're part of the fandom, you will absolutely
Yeah.
remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna date Solus this time. Well, he only dates elves, I think.
Yep.
And
Cancelled.
I know. I hate to see it.
yeah, he only dates elves, and I'm really trying my hardest to make him like me. But also because I think that means, the end of the game and Trespasser will hit doubly hard if my character has romanced him.
This game is $3 on Steam right now.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
it's a no. So all of Dragon Age was on like a massive sale. So I also picked, because I could have played it through Game Pass. Although I don't know if it's on Game Pass PC. But I picked up Dragon Age Origins and Inquisition. But apparently you need to use a bunch of mods to make Origins run because it was never really properly
Yeah.
optimized for PC.
Right.
Dragon Age Inquisition runs really well, at least on my rig. Thank you, NZXT. And no, it's wild going back to it because at the beginning it is truly like you don't know what's going on, you've got no abilities, like, and then it's mad at like how quickly you kind of start to feel really powerful. I'm in the hinterlands at the moment, but I'm not going to make the mistake that I did
What
last
lands?
time. The hinterlands.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misheard you.
What did you think I said?
We don't need to go there.
Oh
The
god.
Himbo Lands?
The
no,
Himbo
no,
lands.
no, no, no.
No, I
That's
was in
Poland, Ohio.
I'm in the hinterlands, and so that's this infamous area that everyone just spends like 20 hours in when you really don't need to. So
I love that you said I'm in the hinterlands at the moment. And it's
At the
like,
moment.
yeah, everyone's in the hinterlands forever in that game.
Well,
There's a hinterlands in World of Warcraft. What does hinter mean?
There's a hinterlands everywhere.
there's hinterlands in
Yeah.
Elden Ring. That's one of the whatchamacallit?
Oh man,
one of
everyone's
the
got a
areas.
hinterlands apparently. I gotta find out what that word means.
Yeah, and so I don't know, like the music's
Behind.
kicking in. I've got like a lot of my squad, but not all of them are kind of rocking up. I forgot how much I love Cassandra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Do
it's just
you put
it's-
Varric in the group? I kind of always had to have Varric there.
well, so I haven't got everyone just yet. So I think right now I'm rocking Varric, Solus, and Cassandra. I think I love Cassandra so much though, so I was like, maybe I'll swap out Solus
Your
for
love interest?
Iron Bulb or like Vivian. I don't know. I don't know.
What?
It just gets me back because I haven't touched it in literally like 10 years. So
Yeah, I enjoyed that game when it came out. I played through it. Not a whole lot of it stuck with me. I'm one of those obnoxious people who's like, Origins was the best one because it was more of an RPG, and I'm old. But I definitely enjoyed Inquisition, and I am looking forward to Veilguard for sure. I don't know if I quite want to like take the time to go back to Inquisition. Maybe I'd watch somebody else play it or something though, because I am kind of like I could use a refresher. I remember there was a lot of green tears when we closed the green tears, and Solus was a friend, and then like at the end maybe not a friend. Those are the things I remember.
Yeah.
to me, that's basically the game
There we go then. Good.
right there.
Well, we're going to take a quick break and polish off the rest of these games that we have listed here. But Tam, we got to say sayonara. We only got
Yeah,
you
I
for,
gotta run. I gotta do another podcast. I'm dual wielding podcasts.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So I will see everyone later.
Jan, did I do good, Jan? Did I do good?
People in chat, please let me know if he starts talking about Disney. The restriction stays in effect the entire program.
Yeah, the embargo's still active.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
we
bye.
can't lift that. All right.
Goodbye.
We're going to fade to
Bye.
black, and then we'll
Bye,
see you
Tam.
right after this.
See you real soon.
July's a fun month for numerous reasons. It makes me think of hot dogs a lot. I saw this guy over the weekend with a hot dog stand and a dog selling hot dogs, and it was mad adorable. Tam is still here.
Yeah. I don't know how time works.
It's fine. We don't know either. So that's why we also have Turbo Shawn here.
Hi.
We're gonna reformat the timeline.
Hi, Shawn.
Hi,
Hi,
Shawn.
Mike.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
Jan's not asking me about my life and everything yet. I was kind of expecting that when I came in here, and maybe
no,
we
that
have stuff to talk about.
we're gonna do that on the show. You know, that's how I catch
Is
up
this
with
not
all of my
the
friends.
show? Is this
Oh,
Are we not back? Is this?
No, we're back now. Are we not back?
Are we
Oh,
podcasting?
I thought we
What
were.
is this?
Yeah, we're back now. Why are we not back?
Because you just said we're going to do something on the show, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
this
Is this the show?
Yeah,
This is the
what?
show.
I thought this was the show.
Is this
Also,
real
again,
life or is
I'm
it
on-
just fantasy?
I'm on a delay, so I'm just like, is everyone done talking? Is everyone done talking? Okay. Yes. And then you all sound like robots to me, so I'm just like,
I love it.
That's a good podcast.
It's a good podcast. It's a good podcast. It's about friendship
This
and
is
video
pod-
games.
professional.
Podcasting.
Professional.
Now we're
podcast.
podcasting. Shawn, how are you?
I'm good. I got a cute new Rosalina shirt that I really
Oh,
like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got that from
That's
the
cute.
Yeti.
Man, Rosalina used to be my favorite princess until the internet told me it was actually Daisy.
Until Daisy was thrust upon you, and not that way. Yeah.
Phrasing.
But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm taking care of a few things. I think I can talk about this now. It might as well be on the Bombcast. Unless things go horribly awry with scheduling, because I need to finish booking a couple things. I should be at Evo this year.
Oh.
Yeah, I got approved for my press pass and everything, so I'm just finalizing flights and whatnot to make it as cheap as possible. But yeah, I should be out there. So if y'all are gonna be there in a couple of weeks, make sure to say hi. I hope Mike actually mutes his mic this time if he's taking a call. We'll find out later.
This is the one time I will advocate for someone trying to fight Shawn. If you see Shawn at Evo, fight him.
Oh yeah, my
But
Red Ranks Lily
ask
will gladly
first.
take you on.
Are you paying out of pocket to get there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't get certain benefits that full-time employees get, Tam.
Listen. I was just gonna say, we'll talk after. Let's see if I can help you out there.
Okay.
Rumbling.
Part of that is that Jan made me do something. I blame Jan for this in entirety. I bought something,
no.
Jan. I bought something. God damn it. It's not here yet, but I ordered an iPhone 15 Pro.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys
Wait, what
now.
did you order?
An iPhone 15 Pro, Lucy.
What did you? Oh my god.
Yeah.
So hang on, so me sending that news.
because it looked like it was just sinking in.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm having a horrible time with this delay. Like every time you guys say something, like even if one of you talks over the other one, I can't hear shit. So like I didn't realize that Shawn was going to Evo until like maybe 30 seconds after you said it, where I was like, something that's happening in a couple of weeks. Oh, Evo. Wait, so basically, me sending you that app for the new iPhone camera thing. Did that?
I mean, that
influence your
that
decision
didn't
at all?
help. Yeah, when I was mentioning that this isn't helping things, Lucy. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Wow, you're going to Eva. That's crazy.
Wow, you're getting an iPhone. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
crazy too. Yeah, no,
sorry.
Chat's wondering why that's like a big deal. It's because I've been using Android phones like since the beginning, and so now I have to like switch over and like figure some stuff out. But it's gonna be worth it because they don't have a really good video.
Google
camera in
does
my
it all.
pocket.
It's surprisingly easy to switch over.
I'd assume so. Yeah, because just all the
so
Google apps
basic-
are over there now. You can even just use Gboard on iPhones now, so it's like
That
everything's
is
kind
so
of figured
bad
out.
for Lucy.
I'm sorry for taking a call. That was my Sky Rizzy getting rescheduled there, so it was important.
Wait, so the app, because Captain Burgundy asked, is that iPhone just released a new app called like Final Cut Camera or something, and it basically allows you to multi-stream to an iPad, and like you can change everything in your you can change focal lens, you can change like white balance. It's a really cool app that you can put in
Yeah,
an
so-
iPhone. It's free now.
That's not gonna do much for me since I'm going out there solo. But in the future, when me and Jan are inevitably together, we're gonna get up to some shenanigans with that. I feel we're gonna.
Oh
figure
my
some
god,
stuff out.
I can't wait to live switch. I want to just live switch my
Yeah.
life if I could.
Yeah,
Is there a
right.
limit to how many phones you can have?
I think it's like 4 or
Yeah, I
5.
think it's 4.
That's gonna be fun.
Oh, multi-streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I thought you
four
meant
of us
just like.
connected.
I thought you meant just like owning phones,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I was like, I feel like that.
Oh, I know that there's no limit to that.
Legal limit, yeah.
I had 4 phones at one point.
Yeah.
Maybe we take another quick bricky break, and to try and fix some internet issues.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yeah,
for
sorry.
some stuff. We'll be right back, right after this.
Sorry.
My mic is now on. It's a little low. I'm gonna juice that up. But Lucy,
Hey.
count to 12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Thank you for that little flourish at the end.
You're
I
welcome.
needed that. All right, folks. Does that sound okay?
Hi, everybody. It's me, Mike Minotti.
Good to know you're here, Mike.
Gotta remind people.
Yay.
All right,
Yay.
beautiful. Fading back to black. Now. And we are back. Take that, technical malfunctions. Nothing is going to stop this train of the podcast, the Bombcast. We're going. Shawn's going to Evo. Shawn has a new going to have a new phone. We're going to shoot so much in log. Tam.
What color is the phone?
Man, I wanted to get the white one because then you could do more with fun colors. But unfortunately, my carrier doesn't carry that for whatever reason. So I was like, just the black one, whatever. I'm slapping a case on it anyway, so it's like I'll just get a more interesting case. And
Right.
I'll
I
cover
just
it up.
took my case off. Like, what color is my phone? I don't know.
Yeah,
Just had
so
the same
many
thing.
people. Yeah, like whenever I listen to tech podcasts, they're like, obviously, they're reviewing a
blue.
bunch of stuff, but they're like, yeah, what color is under this case? I don't even know. It's whatever they sent me.
I got a bunch of stupid filters that I can maybe send your way, Shawn. It's going to be great.
Ooh. Hell yeah,
Last game that I wanted to hear about before we get to the news. This was stirring up its own news, actually. But Mike Minotti, you've been playing Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail.
That's right. The latest Final Fantasy XIV expansion. I haven't been able to go super crazy in it. Like my progression in the main story quest line is still relatively slow. I'm only in kind of the first big zone there. I I've been enjoying it. I just kind of like, going to a new place and seeing things. There's been some discourse, I think,
Uh-oh.
yeah, there's been a little bit of discourse with some
Is it
people
too
saying,
hot?
no, it's not that. It's more, it's basically what Final Fantasy XIV has always been for a while, where the main story quest is literally kind of just story, right? Like, you don't fight anything in the game for probably the first, 4 or 5 hours, till you, get to a dungeon, basically. It's not like World of Warcraft, where every quest is, hey, go kill so-and-so, or so many of these things, right? Final Fantasy XIV, for a long time ago, was like, that's kind of just filler and not engaging, so we're just not going to do it. And they're right, but maybe they need to throw in some other encounters to pick up the pace a little bit. Because, for some people, it's like, yeah, I feel like I just went to a place and I'm getting kind of assaulted with proper nouns. And that's true. Again, it kind of always has been true, but maybe this is just the point where it's bothering some people. I think for some people, so the whole point of this expansion is that this is kind of the vacation arc, or sort of a bit of a coming down from the big storyline we had that got resolved in the last expansion, right? So we saved the universe in the last expansion, and the other expansions also saving at least the world, even in the patches after the last expansion we saved the world. And everybody's always like, oh, I want maybe to just feel like a normal adventure again. And then when I feel like when you actually do give people that, a lot of times they kind of have a bacalar reaction, like, well, now this doesn't feel important, right?
Not the stakes aren't as high. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So again, I'm not super far into it, so I'm not having that problem. The other thing is that there's kind of a new character who is maybe more the focal point than even you are. And it kind of is like, oh, you're this character's bodyguard and you're helping them in their story, which it's interesting they would do that again, because that's what they basically did in the Stormblood expansion, which is most people's least favorite expansion, at least storyline wise. So it's kind of a little strange to see them just kind of copy that model, and maybe it didn't really work for them last time.
Also, to be fair, though, that's also kind of how 14 started, though, in A Realm Reborn.
Right.
That's kind of how you started off.
Right. I think, but Shadowbringers especially, and Heaven's Word a bit too, were pretty good at making you feel like the main character, which is something that World of Warcraft has never been good at. It's something that I think made Final Fantasy XIV stand out. Again, I'm not that far into it. I think a lot of it depends on how much you like this new character. So far, I like her fine, but I want to get to know her better. But, just the vibes of the expansion are really working for me, because it is that kind of tropical thing. People jokingly called it the Margaritaville expansion.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I'm into that.
You've got my attention now.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's a lot of kind of tropical, lots of waterfalls and sunshine and beaches kind of thing. So that's been really pleasant. And I unlocked one of the new jobs called Pictomancer, which is really fun. It's like a mage that is drawing stuff, so it's like a paintbrush mage kind of thing.
Oh, like a
I was gonna make-
Scribblenauts-esque
I was going to make a
person.
Pictionary joke. And it is actually just Pictionary.
But no,
It
yeah,
is,
she's
it is.
actually like a summoner, but with paintings, kind of, right?
Right.
God, she's a
So it's
chalk
like
zoner.
So you
Oh,
can
no.
paint
Yes,
a-
Jan,
a
yes!
chalk. Oh my god, that's before my time. Sean.
What's a
Yeah.
chalk?
What do you
The
mean before your
Nickelodeon
time?
cartoon. It was after my time.
I was
mean,
going to say, like, I'm
whatever.
not that
Time is
old.
linear and confusing.
For my time.
Yeah, something like that. No, but it's fun because you can draw a Moogle, and then you use the Moogle to summon to do an attack kind of a thing, right? And there's
Yeah.
or you draw a hammer, and now you have a hammer combo, and it's like a big whack-a-mole hammer. So it's a very it's like a very beautiful job. Like the effects of it are just really cool and colorful and fun, but it also has a pretty nice flow to it that I am enjoying. So it actually I've probably spent most of my time just kind of leveling up this job for fun. I've been enjoying it more than I was expecting. So yeah.
Cool.
I did the thing again that happens every single Steam sale, where I'll look at the recommended stuff in the queue thing that Steam builds for you, and I'll see oh, Final Fantasy XIV, maybe I should buy that. Then I realize I've already bought it 3 or 4 times. Other platforms.
Me too.
It also has a free trial that would last you 200 hours of gameplay, which is more than most people will get through.
Yeah, it's crazy that, some people don't like me saying this, but Final Fantasy XIV is actually just straight up free to play up to a certain point.
Yeah.
Right.
You,
Again,
you
and
can
that
just
there
was
hop
was a
in.
meme about that.
It was, yeah, because Did you know Final Fantasy XIV is free to play up to the critically acclaimed expansion Heaven's Ward, something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, now they expanded to Stormblood or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. They're just like giving you two really good and one kind of just all right Final Fantasy games for free. Like,
Yeah. Like Stormblood's not bad, but yeah, its storyline is probably the weakest that we've had. Except,
I was gonna say A Realm Reborn is very.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is kind of
Heaven's
hard
Ward is
because-
amazing, but
Yeah, Heaven's Ward's amazing, and then Shadowbringers, the third expansion, is also like the top tier one. And Endwalker was very good. Endwalker's kind of Shadowbringers Part 2. I think that's the other part of it is that Shadowbringers very serious, heavy stakes, and Endwalker's same thing. So I think it's a little bit of a shock that the stakes are so much lower and things are a bit chill. Again, I like that, but again, some people are gonna be like, this doesn't seem important.
This will be interesting for me because when Jan asked if I wanted to fill in for a second half of the show, I was like, that's perfect because I haven't been playing a lot of games because I've just been getting caught up in 14 leading into Dawntrail. I'm very behind. I am in Endwalker right now, so
Okay.
for me, it's going to be really interesting if I do stick with it because it might be a lot to play two basically Final Fantasy games back to back. But going from Endwalker into Dawntrail immediately, I'm going to see more than most people what the contrast is there between the two expansions. But for me, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of as much as I like power fantasies in games. It's why I play character action games a lot. I'm never a fan of when like RPG, not that way, Jan. I'm never a huge fan of when like RPGs do escalate to you are some random guy who just turns into the destroyer of worlds and the entire universe centers around you because chance. It's always seemed a bit weird to me. And
You're the chosen one kind of thing. And
the chosen one
definitely is that
exactly.
here. You are the chosen one.
Yeah. You are the like all capital letters warrior of light. And I don't know, maybe taking our character back a little bit and grounding them a little bit more. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what happens at the end of Endwalker. I would be interested to see if maybe there's a reason that they bring you back down to earth a little more. But I assume not. But it would be interesting to at least like thrust that upon the character again to be like you kind of are just a person now. Like, right. And I think your character being a bit of a silent protagonist has always lent itself to that because then your character can be whatever the story needs you to be. You're very they lean into it a lot in 14 where they're like, they're so humble all the time. They don't like talk about their deeds much, and it's funny because you don't talk. So
right, exactly. Yeah, strong with silent type. It is always hard, like because you are, like you said, that destroyer of worlds, and then now we're doing this other storyline with smaller stakes, and it's kind of like I should just be able to glare at somebody and they should do whatever I say.
Yeah, that's why it's weird when it's like I'm playing even something like Persona where the powers are sort of like partitioned off from the real world. Even then, it's like I just killed God the other day and I gotta go back to high school. Like this just feels weird, man.
Yeah, nope, exactly.
I have the weirdest case of FOMO anytime I hear folk talking about Final Fantasy XIV.
You almost said Fortnite.
I never get
Final Fortnite 14.
Anyway, FOMO, and then you see the nasty boys chatting about it constantly. Final Fantasy XIV. Maybe that's why they're so nasty.
Maybe that's what made them so nasty.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, maybe today's the day. Maybe. How can I block out enough time that I just do it for work instead?
It's a lot of. That's the thing. It's a lot of time.
Yeah, we talked about doing this the last time Grub was out. We were like, what if Jim just starts Final Fantasy XIV? I think that's 14. GMM for the week.
Final Jan Tam Lucy, a friendship was born.
That was it.
That was it.
Yeah. Wow.
We even had the name.
Yeah, and that's when like the series becomes so popular that's when we have a beef over money.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, that's what breaks up. That's what breaks up the band. That's what ruins the world tour.
Love it.
Speaking about world tour, no, we're not going on a world tour. News.
This is gonna ruin the tour.
What tour?
The world tour.
Yay!
Hey,
man, Grub is so wrong. That's such a better meme than Hawk Tuah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's so much better.
It's so
much better.
I saw a really good version of the meme today where it was basically like, police say that they were tipped off to Justin Timberlake being intoxicated, and there was a picture of Janet Jackson hiding behind a bush on a phone, and I was like,
That's
Wow.
true. That's true.
She deserves an
Yeah.
apology from him, as does Brittany.
Yeah.
As does his wife, who he publicly cheated on, and she stuck by him.
Shouts out to Jessica Biel. That's who he's.
Shouts to Jessica Biel. She probably deserves better. I don't
Jessica
know. She
Biel?
could be a
Oh my
piece of shit
God.
too. I don't know.
You know what? Also, he should apologize to Anna Kendrick. His bad PR tanked the last Trolls movie.
Yep.
Oh, the Trolls movie didn't do well?
Yeah. Trolls
Whoa.
and Minions. It's like the guaranteed Hollywood formula now.
Yeah.
Furiosa
Yeah.
would have performed better in the box office if Anya Taylor-Joy was surrounded by
Yeah.
minions.
Are you all also devastated that Despicable Me 4 is getting lukewarm reviews?
No.
I didn't even know it was out. I didn't even know there was a Despicable Me 4.
Did you know
there's a
that-
fourth one.
Yeah, there's a fourth
Oh
one.
yeah, I saw a commercial for it the other day because I was watching TV for the first time in a long time. I'm like, what the hell is this? There's a fourth one?
The thing is that I had to go on like Xfinity's website the other day, and they had a bunch of minions on it, and I was like, Grub, log off, you're on holiday. But it's just basically like there's minions all the time, and I just figured like they had some kind of long-term partnership with the Minions Inc. I don't know.
Minions Inc.
We're gonna figure out that we also
I need
have
to
a long time.
apologize to Despicable Me 4. It has a 63% Rotten Tomatoes, which actually means it's fresh. So that's shocking. Sorry.
63 is fresh
63 is
nowadays.
fresh? What?
We
Well,
need
it's like-
higher
it's like
standards,
60 was
dude.
always fresh, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think anything above 60. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
It should at least be 70. 70 is good. 6 is
I
fine.
apologize to Gru and his family.
Thank you for
and the Minions.
apologizing. Speaking about fresh, we got some fresh news about the Nintendo Switch 2, or supposedly what it's going to be. I forgot that I had to do news because Grub was gone, and then I panicked and was like, there's no news. I'm just going to say there's no news, and we're going to skip it. But we need to take ad breaks. But basically, Nintendo president Shintaro Furukawa has said, I fucking hate scalpers. So to solve the problem for the Nintendo Switch 2,
Everyone will come with a gun to kill the scalpers.
It's so the scalpers don't prevail. We're just gonna make hella Switch 2s. That's what we're
I'll
gonna
bet.
do. We're just gonna make a bunch. The semiconductor problem that plagued us during the original Switch, gone. Forget about it. We're just gonna make a bunch, so the scalpers can't get to it. So if you want a Switch 2, you get a Switch 2. That's what's gonna happen. The part of the supply constraint that plagued the original Switch was all semiconductors. Furukawa has said that that is no longer an issue. They're good to go when production ramps up. When will we see this? When are we at least going to get a whisper of this?
It is the weird thing right now, right? Like, we had that Direct, which I think a lot of us think is going to be the last big Direct for the Switch 1.
Mhm.
So, at some point by the end of the year, I think fall, maybe later in fall, we do finally get something concrete about the Switch 2, like, what it's actually called at least, and hopefully a release window, and maybe a look at the Mario game we all assume is going to launch to it. And speaking of that Mario game, at least back when we found out that the Switch 2 wasn't going to come out this year, at least some people were saying it's not necessarily because of the Switch 2, it's because of that Mario game. Like, that needs more time. And if that's the case, then they have plenty of time to make as many Switch 2s as they want. So they can really shore up supply there so that it hopefully won't be a problem. Now, it might be a problem anyways, especially immediately. There's going to be so many people who will want a Switch 2 immediately. They could do their best to shore up as much as they want. There's going to be some scalping and stuff. Like, don't rest on your laurels, everybody, and think, well, they're saying this, so I'm just going to walk into a Walmart on the day it comes out and get one. I'd still be doing your best to pre-order and all that stuff if you really want to Switch to.
Yeah, and I think Nintendo is in a much smarter place right now. And so if they're looking at the next system and they say to themselves, this is the Switch 2, they're not calling it that. They know that is going to sell, at least in the long run. So they can just overproduce if necessary, and then it'll sell eventually. As to when it comes out or when we hear about it, well, those two things are linked, obviously. But I think, we were talking about this a lot in our post-direct thoughts from the other week, that it just strategy-wise, it makes the most sense to either be in that like March timeframe of the Switch 1, which worked out very well for them last time. Because then if any issues do arise, and they're obviously trying to sort through those ahead of time this time around, but if any issues do arise, those can all be sorted by the holiday season, where you're looking to push the most systems possible, which is, I think, a good strategy. Or obviously it would be later in the year, just before the holiday season. Maybe if they're really confident, maybe they do just launch in like October, November, and then just ride the hype train through the holidays. But I don't know. It's Nintendo, and it's the successor to the Switch. Assuming that's not a Wii U fumble, which, again, they're smarter this time. I don't think they're going to do anything like that. No, I think it's just going to be a better Switch this time around. They can put it out whenever, so I do think March timeframe would sound right, which would mean we start hearing about it at the end of this year if the Switch 1 was any indication. Because, friendly reminder, because some people were like, oh, they didn't talk about it at E3 season this year, so therefore it's like so far out. They only officially revealed the Switch like 5-ish months before it came out. They did that, the first reveal trailer with the name and everything, the person at the airport playing, all that fun stuff. And then, a couple months later, they had like the sort of the release party thing where they showed off a bunch of games, like SMT5 showed up there. They had the HD Rumble, all that. And that was like a month or two before system. So whenever this thing is coming out, you're going to hear about it.
Rooftop parties have not been the same. I need the Switch 2 to reinvigorate that. Last question about the Switch 2 for this lovely panel here. Kickstand? No kickstand.
Well, I think
a kickstand.
Yeah, I think they will have one. I think the one that they put on the OLED, the really long kickstand.
Oh, it's good.
Much better.
That is
the one that's like a Microsoft Surface kickstand kind of.
It's backlog proof.
All right. Next story that I have here is George Rickroll Martin appears to have teased the Elden Ring movie or TV adaptation. This man loves stirring the pot with his hot goss in his blog. He writes about how he helped with the world building of Elden Ring, and while Miyazaki and company did the rest of the work. He addresses Miyazaki mentioning that there is interest in an Elden Ring adaptation by directly from his blog, writing, "Oh, and about those rumors, what does he sound like? What does George Railroad Martin sound like?
He's got like a slightly raspy voice, and he talks very fast.
Is he American?
Yes, American.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, and about those rumors you may have heard about a feature film or television series based on
It's
Elden
not
Ring.
far off. It's not far off.
I have
He
nothing to
sounds
say.
no, he sounds younger than that. Like high pitch.
Not a word. Nope, not a thing. I know nothing. You never heard a peep from me. Mum. What rumor? Speaking to The Guardian, Miyazaki then had also said, I don't see any reason to deny any another interpretation or adaptation.
Actually, speaking to GameSpot.com, he said that.
Speaking to GameSpot.com.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
Everyone did it. Everyone did it. Everyone saw The Guardian, and I was like, man, I published that a week ago. What the fuck?
An Elden Ring adaptation or a movie example. But I don't think myself or From Software have the knowledge or ability to produce something in a different medium. So that's where a very strong partner would come into play. We'd have to build a lot of trust and agreement on whatever it is they're trying to achieve, but there's interest for sure. This is where I want to pitch that Illumination handles the Elden Ring movie.
I was going to say that partner, Chris Pratt.
Damn.
What?
Yeah.
That's what Kind of Funny did with the. I didn't notice it until I went back. But I was on Games Daily yesterday, and they used a tarnished Chris Pratt, and it was upsetting on the thumbnail. So could be.
What movie or TV show could they do with Elden Ring? Would it just be like
I don't know.
Existing lore prior to the game?
It would almost have to, because you can't really, a story about the Tarnished isn't all that interesting. It almost had to be about the kind of pantheon of the demigods and their bullshit, Ronnie killing Radigan or whatever. I don't know. That seems challenging, right? It's like what people really like with Elden Ring is just the lore dumps, right? That's what they like to watch. But actual like drama is not really something we see a lot of in Elden Ring. I don't know what
What
looks like. Like these characters actually talking to each other and doing things, right? Not just fighting us and getting the kind of lore nuggets, which I like. I think it's very good. It's a very good world, and it can be done. It would be a challenge. I still like. I'm always a little shocked. I'm like, oh, George R.R. Martin was involved in Elden Ring. You don't get that when you play the game. You never, at least me, I'm never playing Elden Ring, and I'm like, that's so George R.R. right now. This is like major a lot of, Martin vibes.
Super big incest in Elden Ring, as far as I remember.
Actually, there's quite a lot of. There's not a lot of incest. There's a decent amount of shagging yourself to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot
What
of
the fuck am I missing in this game? What the hell is going on over there?
Get yourself some popcorn, get a nice glass of milk, and just watch Hawaii. Watch Hawaii.
Thank you for catering the beverage to Shawn.
Yeah. What exactly did did George R.R. Martin create
he created
the backstory,
he created like the backstory, the lore, and he created like the idea of elder, I guess. No, kind of, I guess.
Probably create the fact that all the main characters have initials G and R and M.
I feel like if they wanted to do an adaptation, then it makes sense that they would try and do the demigods beefing. But if they could very easily do like the Shadow of the Erdtree era story where we actually get to see Marika's rise to godhood, and because that is a rough circumstance set of events that gets her there. So it could be that. And that would probably pave the way nicely into future seasons where they actually do an adaptation of what she does post establishment of the Erdtree and the Golden Order. So I think there's a lot to do there. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely not. No chance.
No.
This just blew my mind. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that the GRM thing that's sending me right now.
Get ready, me?
No, sorry. Like all the main characters, like Godric, Godfrey, Renala, whoever, Ronnie, and then Moog, Morgoth,
Mesmer. God, it's just all those three letters. Holy shit.
Yep.
If they're an M letter, that means that they are a product of self-cest.
Oh, well, that's
Shawn.
Shawn, it's okay. Just
it's
smile
fine.
and politely
It's a great
nod.
game.
Yeah. Well, that all sounds crazy, and you know what else is crazy? Crazy Taxi's coming back.
Ew.
Hell yeah! Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think The Offspring is coming back?
They have
no way.
Yes.
They did bring them back in it was something like after the mobile port or something. They re-upped the license for that. So I think they know.
That's how Offspring is getting paid. Like they're waiting.
Yo,
for
The Offspring has a new album coming out in October.
Oh, let's go see The Offspring. Forget about the Beach Boys.
I went to go see an Offspring tour, and I left before Offspring actually started.
What?
What the hell, Jan?
I really just wanted to see Simple Plan.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But they're not in Crazy Taxi.
You guys know about Dexter Holland, right? Like he's a virologist. Like he has a he has a BSc
Lucy,
in biology and a
these.
master's in molecular biology. He can also
what do these words mean?
He can also fly a plane. Like
okay,
what about
halfway through that, I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
Anyway, in a recruitment video, producer Kenji Kano, director of the original game, shared details for the upcoming Crazy Taxi reboot that is being handled by Sapporo Studios. Supposedly, this takes place in a fictional West Coast theme park-like city. Ooh. Oh, interesting. All right.
Wow.
Okay.
No comments about those. Nah.
No?
Who can know? No one's ever been to one. No one's ever been to one.
West Coast, Lower East Coast. Who could say?
Knott's Berry Farm. Must be Knott's Berry Farm.
You're always talking about Knott's
Six
Berry
Flags.
Farm.
Can't stop talking about that fried chicken.
The best West Coast theme park, Universal Studios. Naturally.
The parking lot with a bunch of roller coasters in Santa Clara. That's right. Great America.
Magic Mountain. You guys see? That's never mind.
Anyway,
do another theme park thing.
According to the video, the team is testing adapting the Crazy Taxi gameplay into a game with multiple players. The job listing describes the new game as a new major online title with an open world and massively multiplayer driving game elements. I don't know if I want that though.
Here's the thing, Jan.
Yes.
You don't want it until I tell you the game is split up into factions. Okay,
Ooh.
you have taxi drivers.
Okay,
you have Uber drivers.
Ooh.
You have Lyft drivers, and then you have auto car drivers. And that's how you compete.
Okay. And also
that's
there
what
are
the story
tiles and collectible cards.
Yeah, it's turn-based.
Lucy, stop pandering.
as a big like old school Sega guy and a big fan of original Crazy Taxi, I just played Crazy Taxi 3 on the original Xbox not too long ago, which is basically just Crazy Taxi 1 with a couple of new maps and other things. I actually welcome doing this. I think, look, there's no way they're going to just release like an arcade style game like that these days without very many other bells and whistles. And I have those games. Those games are out there. You can play those games a bunch of different ways now. Yeah, let's do something with it. This is a game that I think could lend itself pretty easily into a multiplayer thing, whether it's open world. I imagine there will be some kind of almost battle royale aspect of it where people get dropped off if they're not collecting like a certain threshold of fair money or something like that. And, you know, it could be very easy for them to some point, if not at launch, just add the normal Crazy Taxi mode into that big map. I'd be shocked if something like that doesn't exist in some way, even if it is kind of still part of that online world. I'm not sure. But no, like, you know, it doesn't just immediately throw me off just because, of course, they're trying to make something pretty modern with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like people are, I think, having an immediate knee-jerk reaction because this traditionally single-player thing that they are turning into a multiplayer thing. But what they're describing here, to bring up another game that's sort of in the news recently, Forza Horizon 4, because unfortunately this game's delisted. That game is incredible. It's honestly one of my favorite games of the past 10 years. I put so many hours into it because that's what it is. It is a like multiplayer driving game, not necessarily always racing, and they get silly as hell in there. Like, it's sports cars, so it's, a lot of times it doesn't go too overboard. But once you start getting into buggies and stuff, driving around like the UK countryside and everything like that, they get you some wild challenges and everything. It's so much fun, and doing that in a more arcadey setting sounds fantastic for Crazy Taxi to me. Actually, a couple Bombcast appearances from me ago, me and Dan were talking about this when it was sort of in the news again, where Crazy Taxi is the series that is the most, they've set it up so much to be that sellout game like Fortnite. If ever you were going to have something from back in the day dragged into the modern era, Fortnite style, it is Crazy Taxi, because if you have like Peter Griffin driving around in a DeLorean to Pizza Hut and KFC, that makes sense in Crazy Taxi. So
right, like let's not act like I love Crazy Taxi, and let's not act like it's some sacred thing. Right?
No, well, I mean, like, it is because it's so stupid.
Right, exactly. Like that's what I mean. Like, we can't tarnish like the legacy of Crazy Taxi by, you know, putting in a brand. It had brands immediately, and we loved it. We loved that we could go to Pizza Hut.
Back in the day when I would like, you know, take my 50 cents out of my allowance that weekend, and, you know, instead of buying a candy bar, I would stop by the local movie theater that had a Crazy Taxi machine. I got good enough that I would just pop my 50 cents in, you know, sit there for like 20 minutes or something, and just sit there driving people to Tower Records and stuff. Yeah, it's a sellout game, and it's gonna get goofy and wild, and I want to see that.
All right, I like everything that we've talked about. I especially like Tam's idea of factions. I think we should go a step further with the factions. Each faction is represented by a different genre of music.
Oh, okay. The ska faction versus the emo. Actually, no, they would probably team up.
Yeah. K-pop,
the pop girlies.
Yeah.
K-pop. Their own thing.
The old men are the like butt rockers, and it's all like Dragula stuff.
Let's throw in some yacht rock too. Let's do that.
Oh,
do all of them.
Yeah.
You don't want to run into the Bossa Nova boys after 5 p.m. though.
The Bossa Nova boys. Oh my god.
I want a faction that is just like the songs from Sega Saturn and Dreamcast games that I
the
like.
Sega soundtracks.
We just get the one guy who goes Daytona.
Oh yeah.
He's his own faction.
Yeah.
He's his own faction.
Put that in here, this presumably free-to-play game for like $2. Give me the Sega sound pack. Yeah, I'll buy it. Like, that's how you make your money.
Yeah, they should just make the Hornet one of the cars in that Sega Rally car.
Exactly.
But if it's Sega, could we get like the Persona soundtracks?
More importantly,
why not?
Oh yeah.
You get Kazuma Kiryu driving a taxi, playing like
Bakamitai.
They do that kind of stuff in like their rhythm games that they produce. Like, why not?
It feels like such an
Monkey
easy
Ball.
lob, right? Like, they have to be able to nail it. They have to, right?
I'm going to be optimistic about it. I am excited for this, and I hope it works out.
You know what else I'm optimistic in now after reading Jake Decker's wonderful preview?
Oh boy.
I'm kind of optimistic for Concord, and Concord open beta dates are confirmed for July this month. If you've pre-ordered the game on PC or PS5, you can participate in the not open beta, but the pre-order beta from July 12th to the 14th. And then an additional open beta for all players from July 18th to the 21st. The beta will feature all 16 launch characters, and we'll dive into the game's story. Let me tell you, I read Jake's preview. Jake was pretty surprised, pleasantly surprised by this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of my tastes.
Everyone who I've spoken to has just been like, it's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. The thing is that like maybe the thing that people are worried about is like the story stuff.
I'm gonna say this. I don't think I cared for the story.
That's the problem, I guess. But like,
Yeah, that's the disconnect there, is them showing this big, cinematic Overwatch style trailer, and then that's just not really what you're getting gameplay wise. But that doesn't mean that the gameplay is bad. Again, it's like the last topic a little bit, it's more like the knee-jerk reaction you get from that, the disconnect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, because like I played so much Overwatch, I couldn't really tell you what happened in the lore. I just knew like the characters were fun, and like Ash would be a certain kind of way, and then Diva would be a certain kind of way, and I'm like, oh, I know the Diva was a competitive gamer. That's all I know. I don't understand how she got here.
I guess the cringy-ish thing here is like it seems like they're really like they're telling us you're gonna like these characters because they're gonna remind you of these. You like the characters that are like them from like Overwatch, Guardians of the Galaxy. You're gonna like these, and I'm like, don't tell me I'm gonna like them. I'll decide if I like them, and then maybe then you can make your cartoons and whatnot about them. But like right now you need to be selling me the game. Yeah. Not like this multimedia thing that you're trying to accomplish with it.
I am still more interested in Marvel Rivals than Concord, but
same.
Perhaps the beta will sway me. I'm also not thrilled about this having like a $60 to $70 price tag to get into the gate.
It's $40, isn't it?
It's $40. I think
Concord,
for the base. Okay. It's like just like Overwatch 1. I'm a sicko who likes that because I vastly preferred Overwatch 1's model where I paid that price one time and I played so much of that game. And I bought loot boxes if I wanted cosmetics, and that was fine. It was way better than having to pay for characters and season passes and whatnot. So like I think it might be a problem for them because I don't think most people are like me and they're going to really scruff up against the idea of paying $40, but to me that's a plus.
And sometimes just real quick, sometimes when you get into stuff like Overwatch 2 wanting to like put characters behind a battle pass and stuff like that, even just the optics of that was really bad for a lot of people like myself.
How sweaty do you think Concord is going to be? Concord, whatever. Like, are we getting Valorant levels of sweaty?
No.
Nah, I don't think
it could be Overwatch.
Well, it's like
Overwatch comp sweaty in its competitive mode, maybe, but
my most Team Fortress 2 sweaty.
To be pessimistic, I don't know how good this game is gonna do, so maybe it does get sweaty because just the dedicated audience, but who knows?
A game that got surprisingly pretty sweaty because of its very dedicated audience when it was picking up a lot of heat was Splitgate.
Oh
sure.
I could see this kind of being like a Splitgate, maybe. Picks up the right audience, the right type of heat.
Sure.
But that's a news to me that's coming out for $40, but it's coming out for $60. Is the Switch remaster of Donkey Kong Country Returns.
He's finally back.
I don't have any fondness for Mr. Kong and his family. I don't know if this remaster necessarily warrants the $60. When Grub and I talked about it last week, he was more so that, hey, Nintendo realizes there's a little bit more name recognition for Mr. Kong than there is for Metroid. So let's charge more for what people know versus what we just want people to get in the gate with.
All right, me and Mike have been talking a lot, but I feel like this is going to be just a debate here. Let's go.
I don't know. Please. I don't know if I really buy it. I feel like some the Metroid fans sometimes were a little like self deprecating or not self-hating is a bit much.
Oh, you don't
but I mean, it's like we talk about it like they don't care about Metroid. We've been getting a lot of Metroid games lately. There's been a lot of Metroid representation. It's not like it's clearly something that does matter to them and that they're investing in and they see value in, and there's certainly a relatively mainstream component of Metroid. And yeah, look, like Donkey Kong Country is a Donkey Kong Country game is going to sell more than a Metro game. It's not like the Donkey Kong Country games are the ones selling, the 15 million or Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze has not sold 15 million copies. It might have sold 10, which is kind of crazy for a port.
Still,
well, that's what I'm
good
saying, though. That's what they're looking at when they do these things is, we ported a Donkey Kong game. It did insanely well.
Right. Again, like the issue here is like, okay, Metroid Prime 1 Remaster, which is really almost like a remake, how much they did with that.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, one, as a base game was better than 2, so much more work put into it. Right. And that's $40. And then this, which looks like a very bare bones port of a Wii game, is $60. So yeah, you desperately are trying to figure out why this is more expensive than a Metroid Prime 1 Remaster. It's hey, maybe that's it. It's just like, oh, Donkey Kong will sell more. But Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is going to be $60. I know Luigi's Mansion 3 sold well, but did the Luigi's Mansion 1 remake so well? No. And I imagine this will be closer to that in terms of performance. So I don't know. I think sometimes we try to find logic in the things Nintendo does, and they're really just isn't necessarily there.
That's our mistake, big dog. Trying to find logic with Nintendo.
And then I'm on the opposite side of the fence here, where I think we find logic in Nintendo in the inverse direction that Mike is looking at, where I'm looking at this and I see, these big Mario style stuff is, $60. And then even Mario versus Donkey Kong remake of a GBA game being $50. And then why is Metroid only $40? I think that's indicative of what Nintendo thinks of these properties, still to this day. Because as I always try to remind people, Metroid has never sold well. It has never done exceptionally well. Even Dread, which did, pretty good for the series, still was what? It was, where did it end?
3 million-ish.
Yeah, just under 3 million, 3 million. Yeah,
right. But what is good,
But that's relative. The thing is, I think the strategy here is Nintendo sees as Metroid doesn't sell, so let's put it at a budget price to try to tempt more people in the door and just push more copies, push the IP a little bit more. Prime 4 rolls around, we can't put that out for $60 and get more people buying it. Whereas with Donkey Kong, they're like, everyone's buying Donkey Kong. Kids are buying it, parents are buying it, old school gamers are buying it. So we can price at $60 because we know it'll sell no matter what. And
Monkey's real hot right now. We got the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. They're in the balls again.
Yep.
We got ties again. A couple quick stories before we wrap up. Take another quick break, and we'll be back with emails. The Capcom Next show was yesterday. Hot 30 minutes of some news. Some of that news being the Resident Evil 7 director, Koshi Nakanishi, will be directing the next RE game. That next RE game is probably going to be Resident Evil 9. We've seen a lot of rumors swirling around about RE9 being an open world game. I'm still intrigued by that. But the thing that captured my attention from the Capcom show yesterday was the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster coming this year. It's going to be using the RE engine. A lot of improvements, quality of life stuff like auto-saving. Who knew auto-saving would be a quality of life thing that I would sorely need? An adjusted UI, modernized controls, a bunch of more stuff. Like I mentioned, the remaster will be using the RE engine, and the deluxe edition of the game will feature 17 extra costumes for Frank. And the thing that makes me feel so much dread inside is that it's going to feel kind of like a retro game in a way, not just because of when it came out, but because of the setting, it taking place in a mall. And a lot of malls across America are just dying.
Yeah. You seen what the old Westfield is now in San Francisco? It is miserable.
That's not great.
It would seem very fun to ride a skateboard or roller skates through, though, I will say.
Oh, for sure.
Tony Hawk 1, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Tony Hawk predicted everything. So it's also going to predict that I'm going to have a terrible best friend named Eric. But we'll see the cards, and we're going to say goodbye to Tam for real this time. We're going to take a break.
Bye, Tam.
Goodbye, YouTube. We'll be back with emails. Emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. Send any and everything you want, whether it's questions, quizzes, conundrums. You want life advice? Seek life advice from a video game podcast. We will provide the best type of stuff. You need to get stuff off your chest. You want to talk about relationships, lack of relationships, what to feed your cats. We'll figure it out for you. Bombcast@giantbomb.com. We're a bunch of experts here. First email. This breaking news, breaking email. Is that the proper thing to say?
Sure.
Mike from Edmonton, Alberta writes in.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mad Bombers. So the song Espresso is a huge hit. And what I suspect will be everyone's inescapable song of the summer. Does this mean that this is the summer of coffee girls and boys? And by association, mean that this is the summer of Coffee King Jan? Hope you all enjoy some espresso martinis and spiked iced coffees this season. Mike from Edmonton, Alberta.
I don't know this song, and I don't drink coffee.
So
You don't know Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter?
How's it go?
Because I'm a singer.
It's very okay, Mike. It's. I listened to it for the first time last night, and she's not far off from what she's singing right now. It's very okay.
Accept me espresso. Oh, switch it up like Nintendo is a line.
Oh, I like Nintendo.
Every night, oh.
Is it like that?
I guess so.
Is it like that? That guy who like did the sequel to We Didn't Start the Fire, and he rhymed the words Metroid with George Floyd.
Wasn't that
Wait,
Smash?
the guy who did this.
It was Fall
Jesus
Out Boy.
Christ, Mike.
Well, look, it wasn't
I
Billy
said it was
Joel.
Smash
It
Mouth.
was
It
the
was Fall Out
sequel
Boy.
to Man on the We Didn't Start the Fire.
But like not knowing that was Fallout Boy of all things
I
is
don't know
just
who the
so
hell did
funny
it.
to me. Like,
Fall Out Boy's big smash hit,
yeah,
the
him.
sequel to We Didn't Start
no,
the Fire.
that's why it's funny, is because it was Fallout Boy, a band most people don't think of, and
No,
it was a
you're
bad
right.
version of the
You're right. It is funny. It is extra funny that it was Fall Out Boy.
So
Yeah.
it was such a culture shock to me though, because here when that song dropped, everyone had like the what I think was the right feeling of like, maybe we shouldn't have done this. Also, maybe we shouldn't have rhymed George Floyd with Metroid.
What about rhyming Lebanon with QAnon?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm looking at the lyrics right now.
Oh, boy.
Look, I like Fall Out Boy,
Me too.
and I think that their most recent album is actually their best. So much for Stardust. I also know that I forget who does. I think someone actually told me Pete once does the lyrics. They can't write lyrics for shit, so why did they do We Didn't Start the Fire?
Right.
Great Pacific, Garbage Patch, Tom DeLonge and Aliens, Mars Rover, Avatar, Self-Driving Electric Cars, SSRI's Prince and the Queen Die, World Trade, Second Plane. What else do I have to say?
No more. Don't say anymore.
Look,
Wait.
Bacalar already brought this up forever ago when this first came out, but the biggest crime with that song is that they didn't go in order.
It's not chronological.
Yeah.
It's not chronological. That's the biggest problem. Well, obviously,
Well, that would be hard, Sean. That would be
But that's the
difficult.
point. Like, I literally in my AP US history class, that's how we like memorized modern history. Was We Didn't Start the Fire? That was the point of the song.
There's
Harry
one
Potter,
thing in there.
Twilight, Michael Jackson dies, nuclear accident, Fukushima, Japan.
It's not even rhyming.
Crimean Peninsula, Cambridge Analytica, Kim Jong-un, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man. What?
Wow.
I don't even know where the beat goes in there.
Does he mention
Well, to be
Hamilton in
fair,
this?
Oh, he should. I think he's got it.
Pokemon's in there.
Pokemon.
The Unabomber is in there.
Oh.
Brexit.
We Didn't Start the Fire. We Didn't Start the Fire did kind of do that originally, though, where it sort of like trails off and doesn't necessarily follow the
Yeah.
beat. So that's kind of excusable.
There's one line I'm not allowed to mention in the original because I don't want to disappoint Tam.
Metroid's in it.
Yeah, that's the one who rhymes with George Floyd. That's
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
that's Patient Zero.
Yeah.
That's how we got there.
That's how we got here. See, Metroid so famous that it's in this song. Telling me it
Oh,
doesn't.
boy.
Yeah, famous with these 40-year-old dudes acting like they're teenagers. Yes.
Are they real? Is Fall Out Boy really named after Radioactive Man's sidekick from The Simpsons? That's actually where they got the name.
Actually-
Cool.
Yeah, to my
I like
knowledge,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Espresso is not the song of the summer.
Oh yeah, right.
what the original email was. I do kind of like please, please, please because of how she says motherfucker. Yeah. Lucy, can I get a read of that?
What is it? Don't embarrass me, motherfucker. What is it? The hang on, wait. Please, lyrics. I've got to look it up.
I believe in a thing called love.
I don't want to get it wrong because it's like heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. I beg you, don't embarrass me, motherfucker. Yeah. Like that is a line and a half.
Fantastic,
incredible.
Please put that on your reel. I'm gonna say early here. This is my other pick for potential song of the summer. We're in July. The album came out last week. It's taken over the TikTok algorithm as we speak.
Oh God,
Mamushi by Megan Thee Stallion.
I haven't heard it, but I do love me some Megan Thee Stallion.
MAMUSHI.
Is that the WAP girl?
One of them.
Okay.
It's the hook goes very hard. It reminds me of doing Duolingo because they have a Japanese rapper rapping, and then Megan Thee Stallion would be like, "All right, I'm just going to repeat what you say."
Is it good, or is it like when Avril Lavigne tried to be Japanese?
It is definitely not when Avril
Okay.
Lavigne
What was
tried to be
that?
Japanese.
That song was
that was an affront to mankind. Is what it was.
Kawaii.
Yes.
Didn't because she was married. No, she was married to the guy from Nickelback at the time.
Chad Kroeger.
Yeah. Didn't he write that with her?
I think so.
Wait,
God,
the guy from Nickelback's name is Chad Kroeger.
Yes, it is. And he married Avril Lavigne. And as far as I can tell, the only reason they were married, Mike, is because they're both Canadian.
Yeah,
I can't think of any other reason.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they have a lot in common.
Speaking about music, next email comes from Joe in Michigan. Subject reads, "Can we get some better music for these game announcement shows?" And I agree. Spend that marketing budget.
What are you talking about? 9 Inch Nails is in the Game Awards pretty much every year. We peaked.
We're
fine.
We get it. Lucy loves 9 Inch Nails. Trent Reznor.
We got Imagine Dragons. We're set.
Yeah.
Gene Parks, Imagine Dragons.
There
You think Mad Booty got married to the song Ms. New Booty? I'm a little disappointed every time he's out on stage and that song isn't playing. Parentheses 50-50 odds. Jan needing to explain what song this is to everyone. Didn't Bacalar and Grubb say they'd never heard the song Nuck If You Buck a while back? Cultural differences are wild.
I've also not heard of either of these.
Oh, Lucy, how are we friends and you haven't heard Nuck If You Buck?
Yeah, come
What's
on,
it?
Lucy.
I'm Googling Nuck If You...
Oh, careful.
No, don't read the lyrics to this one. Do not read the lyrics. Do not.
I think Oh no.
Oh no. I'm not going to read those out loud.
Yeah.
Have either of you heard of Miss New Booty?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I read the emails a little bit ahead of time. I was like, I didn't know this by name, but then when I looked up the song, I was like, oh, it's the one that goes booty 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 rocking everywhere. Yeah, exactly. I know that one. Yeah.
Well, I do that because I do know that because I sing that to my cats whenever I give them
like
rubs.
we know that part. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I go booty booty booty. Yeah.
All right.
Isn't that just the thing from Rocket Power?
No, that's Oogie Oogie Oogie.
Okay.
I don't think they'll be singing that in Rocket Power.
Maybe they're kind of edgy kids, right? They skateboard.
Are they edgy because they skateboard?
Yeah, that's well, they wear safety gear a lot, so maybe they're not too edgy. Safety is lame.
What music would you like to hear at these announcement shows? Much love, Joe in Michigan.
The Offspring.
Sure.
Maybe game music.
MCR. You know what?
Okay.
Sorry,
That's a pick.
I something paused within me.
I would love to hear My Chemical Romance. Like a song that gets people hype. Gets people.
They can get interesting with these things is my big issue. Like when they had Mick Gordon playing, that was a good call because that's video game music that also just kind of sounds like mainstream music, so that works as a live performance. They could also do things like if anyone's never listened to it, the Evo soundtracks that they do each year now are just like lyrical rap albums with
Let's go,
some
Justin.
Nailed it, Mike.
Yeah, it's great.
With other genres thrown in and stuff. But like getting stuff like that in there that is actually like, homages to gaming music and stuff. Like,
genuinely years ago when they did the Red Dead music, was at Game Awards was incredible.
Sure.
But hang on, are we talking about like musical performances, or are we talking about like just songs in trailers?
Why not both?
Why not
a little bit of
both?
both.
They say announcement shows, so I assumed that they were talking about something like the Game Awards. But yeah, if we're talking just like
It's like
background music or
what
something.
are the executives like wrestling songs to walk out into the ring? You know,
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's what this question is actually.
It's just
asking.
all come out the Shane McMahon song, money, 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 money. And
Yeah.
money talks. Yeah.
What music does Phil Spencer listen to?
dad rock.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's coming out to some Hall &
I'm
Oates.
probably gonna see him at the Beach Boys concert. Like, he's gonna be there.
The thing is that I would walk out to Hall & Oates.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I would walk out to InXS. I'd walk out to InXS.
I really like every time they do like the actual like live songs from video games, except when it's an ad for a game that isn't out yet. Like last year they did Hellblade 2, and it was just clearly like an ad. I'm like, no, like, you know, this is supposed to be the. I get that there's a lot of commercials here, but let them actually pay for a commercial or a trailer for Hellblade. Like the musical thing should be about the games that came out this year. Like the Alan Wake 2 thing was fantastic. The montage that they do for the Game of the Year winners is always great.
Yeah.
But like yeah, this is why we're gonna promote Hellblade 2. Nah.
I was gonna say not every game is going to have an elaborate musical number like Alan Wake.
Did you see? So
I haven't seen the GDQ thing yet, but I did see it pop up this morning.
Oh,
I'm
it
gonna
was
watch
good.
after
Yeah,
this.
Summer Games That Quick's happening, and they were doing an Alan Wake 2 speed run, and like during that section, like they all just got up and did the dance. It was great.
yeah.
It's cute. All right.
stuff.
Next email comes from Rob from the Bay Area. What's up, Rob? Hi, Bombers. So I listened to a podcast where audience members bring Photoshop posters that feature their name worked into a movie title to be the pod's live shows for a chance to win prizes. I've also pondered what mine should be, but I never wanted the gimme answer of the Italian Rob. Not even sure what to do with the full form Robert. What would be associate movie titles or other forms of media be for the GB staff and friends? Love you all, Rob from the Bay Area.
Well, Sean's just that movie about the snail.
Turbo, yeah.
Turbo.
Turbo.
I was gonna say I also have just a boring gimme answer in the Shawshank Redemption.
Oh,
No,
that's
that's
good,
good.
though.
Yeah, it's right there.
I
It's
like
right there.
that.
I mean, Jan, you've got such a great name to put into, like,
Yeah.
the Jan
Right.
who loved me,
That's
Oh
good.
yeah.
the
Yeah.
Invisible Jan. I mean,
Right, we've done that.
Okay. I like
Jan
Jan
that.
on
Jan.
fire. Jan
Oh.
on fire. Okay,
Jan
so
on
Jan.
fire.
Yeah. We can't do Mike. Mike is too common. You have to work Minotti in somehow. Is there any movie titles with the word naughty in it?
Naughty by nature.
Not that we
Naughty
talk
but
about here.
nice.
Mhm.
Oh, Lex says Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the.
Obviously,
Oh well,
very good
yeah.
one.
I mean, well, that's just my
It's like
name.
saying, yeah, it's like saying Magic Mike for me, right? Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah.
Multiple
I guess
people
it-
saying Magic Mike right now.
Well,
Right.
okay, no. It's not the microphone. Never mind.
Minotti report. It's a little bit of a stretch.
No,
The
that's good.
Mike-sicle.
That's good.
The
I like
Mike-sicle
that.
Thief. I kind of like the Mike-sicle Thief. You ever see the Bicycle Thief? That's a good movie.
Never.
I didn't see
Definitely
that
not.
one.
They
I
made.
don't know
I
what
watched
to
that
do
in
for
my
my
one
name.
semester of film school.
Lucy.
Lucy. Something.
I mean, there is just a movie called Lucy, which is
Yeah.
Right?
a Scarlett Johansson.
There's gotta be a movie
Vehicle.
the name with the word juicy in the title, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on IMDb and look up juicy.
I just keep putting
Careful,
Lucy
Mike.
into Google and it's not helping.
No, that's not gonna do it. Juicy. It's gotta be a juicy movie.
What about like,
Juicy there's not that many juicy movies. There's Juicy Girl, Juicy Affair. Nobody's heard of these. Juicy J. Shit, it's not gonna work. What else rhymes with Lucy?
Yeah. I don't-
Tootsie?
What the hell is
No.
that?
Isn't that a musical?
no, isn't that the Chevy Chase movie?
Chevy Chase
Oh.
sucks.
Now you lose Lucy, now you don't. Or
Now
Now
you
you
lose
No, I was-
see me. I
I
like
was
that.
gonna say,
it's pretty
That's
good, actually.
good.
I was gonna say Footloosey.
Oh,
that's
Footloose
good.
is also good.
Yeah,
okay.
Oh, shit.
There we go. It took us a
We
second.
got there. We got there.
Great.
Great. Now everyone has a good one but me.
Mike Minotti T.
Yeah, something about T. T. Isn't there like a T with somebody movie?
I do really think the Minotti report is really good.
The
though.
Minotti report is.
Oh, that's
Minotti with Mussolini? No.
I mean, there's striptease, so
Minot strip
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Minottis. Strip
Doesn't work.
Minottis. You know, it's not bad.
It is pretty bad. Breakfast at Minotti's is quite good.
Oh,
That's not
good.
terrible.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah. And I said, what about breakfast? Okay.
My cousin Minotti.
Yeah,
Despicable
Despicable Me Naughty. Yeah, it's not terrible. I hate to say it, but it's not
Despicable
terrible.
Me Naughty.
It's not
Despicable
terrible.
Me Naughty.
Yeah,
There it
there you
is.
go.
All right, we'll go with that.
What was the first one we came up with for you, Lucy? Now you lose. Now
Now you Lucy.
Lucy.
now you lose.
Now you see me.
Oh my god, wait. Izzy, Azumi says, the last action hero.
Oh, I like
Oh,
that.
that's
I
good.
like that
very
one.
good.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
12
Did
podcast
you
points
guys
to you.
have you guys seen when Jeff Grubb got married? Like their wedding photos were all
Yes.
just parodies of like posters, and they like
Very
went
adorbs.
kind of viral. Yeah.
Amazing.
Like
Yeah.
the ET one where his wife is
Yeah.
trying the bicycle and he's in the fucking basket.
That's the best one.
It's
Yeah,
so good.
yeah. They did a bunch of those.
A few good Minottis from Chuck
oh,
Tasker.
that's
Okay.
good. My
Yeah.
brother and Minotti. No.
Mm.
Lucy Road? No? Almost there.
Lucy Road? Oh,
Mad Max.
2001 A Space Odd Lucy.
Oh,
that's pretty good.
That's
Not bad,
good.
not bad.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
Oh, Cho is 11!
Damn, we just gotta rob someone now, huh? Watch out,
Everybody
Phil.
get on the fucking ground!
No, we never do. They never do that in Oceans. It's all eloquent.
That's because they haven't been caught.
That's
yet,
because it's
but what's on
it's
the team?
theirs. Like
Fiction. That wasn't Oceans.
All right. We've had a lot of emails the past couple weeks about nosebleeds.
I wonder why.
Of varying varieties. First email comes from Corey from Abbotsford. I'm going to assume BC's British Columbia. I don't know that for sure. But anyway, they write in, I've never had a horny nosebleed, but I did have an angry nosebleed. It was 2011, and I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan. I was renting a house with some friends. This was during their playoff run, and the internet cut out for 3 days. The telecom company, TELUS, kept not sending someone despite each of us taking time off from school and work. We still could watch the game because the CBC is free and works over cable, but we were huddled in the only room that had access. I call, get a very nice representative, but my extreme anger at the situation causes my nose to gush blood on the call. I insist, she puts, you made me so angry my nose is bleeding, onto my file. In conclusion, everything ended up fine and the Canucks won the Stanley Cup. Asterisk, I was at Game 7 and was just outside when I felt the first car explode, rushed onto the local train with my father and headed back to town. It wasn't until a while later I learned what happened. Second note, fuck TELUS. I refuse to deal with them every time I give them a chance to fuck it up.
Wait.
Cheers, Corey from Abbotsford, British Columbia.
Wait. Paul, what was that about the exploding car?
I don't
was
know.
there?
Hockey's weird.
What y'all doing up there in Canada?
I don't remember this. I don't remember the parts. Like, was this like a riot or was this an incident? Like, what's going on?
Contextually, I would assume so. Like hockey
assume
players get
riot.
wild. So
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Were
What that's
they-
I'm sure Backlar would know.
Yeah, Backlar or Grubb might know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I've always been. I was in LA one time when the Lakers won some championship, and that was the first time I was exposed to a city rioting because they won. I was like, "What are you all doing? You did it! Why aren't you?" I'm from Cleveland. I was like, "You know how happy we'd be if we won." Like, what are you doing here?
There's a really awful one from the UK. I'm from Newcastle, and there was one time where there was like this riot after a football game, and a guy punched a horse.
A horse.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Not great.
Don't
No.
do
Like
that.
the picture is like a Renaissance painting. You just
Yeah.
search for like the guy punches a horse,
Oh,
and like
like
he
that
got
dude
got
went
arrested.
back.
and
Well,
everything.
like the
Good.
dude punching the kangaroo. Yeah.
I mean, a
yeah.
kangaroo would fuck you up.
Well,
No.
that's the point. That's why it was
Yeah.
bold of him to do it to get him get the kangaroo off his dog.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right. Yeah,
that one, that one.
kangaroo
That
had it
one. Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, and the kangaroo's just like, what? He actually did it.
Yeah.
Is it Lucy? Is it a dude with like long
Black and
hair?
white. No, I'll grab it.
This is a different man punching a horse.
Maybe man punches.
Shawn, if you had to punch an animal, which one would it be?
Oh, golly gee, Mike.
I have the best question.
I'd get
Punch a
fist fight with kangaroo.
crocodile. They don't
Yeah.
look like they feel anything, and they're jerks. I don't like.
Yeah, maybe a
alligators.
bear. You know, those guys are peaceful, right?
Yeah,
Tell
yeah.
you to punch. Aren't you supposed to
is-
like palm a bear in the nose or
That's
something?
a shark.
Oh, someone
Work
wait,
on
someone.
bears.
Someone
Bears of the
painted
sea,
picture.
you know?
Oh, someone painted it like a Renaissance painting. Yeah.
What's that picture? That's what I just dropped in. The
Yeah.
police horse that was punched, but basically it was that exact. It was that exact pose.
Oh God,
And that guy got like.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, is this horse a cop?
That is a cop horse, yes.
Okay, well.
It was a riot control horse. So
The horses don't know what they're doing.
Do they not? I don't know. We're not sure.
Horses are smart.
None of us have been inside the mind of a horse. We don't know what they're really thinking, except
yourself,
of
Mike.
course, Mr. Ed the talking horse. We know what he was thinking. He told us.
All horse cops are bastards.
Ahab.
Oh.
All right.
Of course.
Continuing the emails about.
Oh yeah. Anyways, never been so angry that my nose bleeded. Thank you, emailer.
I've never been so angry that my nose bled.
nope, never had a nosebleed at all.
Man, I don't.
Still.
Yeah, look, I get angry sometimes. It's weird being in cities. So even just when I'm in a grocery store, every time I'm in a grocery store, I feel like I encounter one person who is more angry in that moment.
Oh.
I cross paths with them than I have been in like 5 years. I'm like, what's wrong with you? They're always like on a phone screaming at somebody at the grocery store. It's like, calm down.
I worked for a long time in a grocery store, so I always feel bad for the employees who have to like in some way deal with that person in the store. It's always a nightmare.
For some reason, that's the place everyone gets really mad. It's the grocery store. It's where they find like, I've had it, and they're like, whoever they're calling or they're with, they're gonna hear about it.
I think it's because they're the kind of person who is only either at work or home. That's like the one place in their life where they get away from either, and so that's where they explode.
Yeah, it's always makes me I'm like just like trying to get some fucking Oreos or something. Like,
I love the grocery store, man. I love
it's
spending
fun,
time.
yeah.
It's nice. Yeah, it's a peaceful time.
There's always something new to find, right? You're very familiar with it. Like, what's on this aisle? Like, condensed soup, huh? What's going on in the condensed soup world? We have buffalo chicken soup now. New developments, everybody. Stop the presses. What's that taste like? Probably bad. I'm going to try it, though. It's 89 cents.
Thank you, Mike, for a peek inside to your brain when you visit the grocery store. Next email about nosebleeds comes from Gunnar from Missouri. Hey, duders. With the discussion of the anime horny nosebleed coming up last time, I thought I could chime in and remind everyone of that time in Dragon Ball where Yamcha had to fight an invisible guy and was losing until they got Bulma to flash Master Roshi and shoot blood over the dude so Yamcha could see him. Also, the series was,
we remember,
in no particular order, the super smelly guy Krillin had to fight and almost lost to until he was reminded he didn't have a nose. Krillin defeated Chaozu by asking him a math problem, which Chaozu needed to count on his fingers to answer and therefore stop his technique, losing the fight in the process. And 3, an actual vampire who's defeated by a shoot Christian cross brandished at him. In conclusion, Dragon Ball is wild, and if you like the franchise, it's a hoot, and they should probably put Jackie Chun in Sparking Zero. Thanks, Gunnar from Missouri. Beautiful, yes.
Man, Dragon Ball is just a very different vibe from Dragon Ball Z, huh?
Very different. Have you ever seen Dragon Ball, Mike?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, actually, I actually saw Dragon Ball, like, I was in, like, Canada as a kid, and I saw Dragon Ball on just their TV there, like, Sky TV. This was before Toonami even was showing Dragon Ball Z, and I just remember it because it was the episode where they Pilaf tries to summon Dragon Balls and Oolong wishes for panties, and I was just like, this is a cartoon show? Am I allowed to watch this? And Goku was like ass naked because he turned into a monkey and he like found his tail. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, and it left an impact on me. Then years later, when watching Dragon Ball Z and learning there was a Dragon Ball, I was like, oh shit, that fucked up show. Okay, and then also, like, you're a kid, you like Dragon Ball Z, like, well, I'm going to read the manga, I'm going to start on issue 1 of Dragon Ball, and it's just immediately, like, you know, some, like, the butts and the stuff.
Yeah.
Never, you know what, it is, like, it's such a gap in my knowledge, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I wish I had the time. Like, One Piece, too, I just feel like I've missed the boat.
That's too much.
Funny. I'm never gonna get on the boat with One Piece. I think I've just decided.
Yeah, the boat.
Just do that, but maybe I did.
Those are also
interest.
Those are so much worse than Dragon Ball. Not quality, but in terms of like being long running like One Piece and Naruto and all that stuff has been going on so freaking long. Whereas Dragon Ball, especially like if you watch Kai for Z and stuff, it's manageable. It's a long show, but it's accessible at least.
When I was a 14-year-old boy, there was nothing better than Dragon Ball Z. Like, there's something about that to me that time of your life where that just hits for some reason.
Yeah, and
that stays with you for some bizarre reason.
That's why, like, I was always around Dragon Ball growing up because of the neighborhood I grew up in. People talked about this a lot when Akira Toriyama passed away, but it did have like a profound impact on like Black communities and Hispanic communities and stuff. And so I grew up around friends who were super into Dragon Ball, but we didn't have cable growing up. So unfortunately, that was always on like Cartoon Network and stuff growing up. So I kind of just never got to see it. A little bit later, it was on like the CW picked up. So I got to watch it on Saturday mornings a little bit when I was like a teenager, but that was about it. But
I remember getting the VHS box sets from freaking Suncoast Video. Those were great.
Good old
like,
days.
They made like the picture, right? And it was fun because like the sagas kept getting bigger. So like the freaking like Cell Saga one was like, like 10 cool. VHS tapes. Oh, wow. I was like, me and my brother just like going through them. I remember there's a summer we did that and our friends got mad at us. They're like, come outside and play. We're like, no, Cell just absorbed 18. He's perfect So now. What are they going to do?
It is. I do appreciate how dumb Dragon Ball gets, and they just lean into it. Yeah. Whether it's the whimsy of the original or like the dumb fights of Z and Super.
And it's funny because like I don't watch Dragon Ball Super, but I just kind of see like, there's like 4 new Super Saiyans, and I'm like roll my eyes at it like it's so dumb, as if Dragon Ball Z wasn't also insanely dumb.
Yeah.
But it's
fun.
I
peek my head in now because I do have access to YouTube TV, and so I turn on Toonami here and there, and when they have Dragon Ball Super on, I'm like, this is just Dragon Ball Z again, and I'm okay with that. That's kind of cool.
Somehow in another tournament, huh?
Yeah, why not?
I like that's kind of the best when they do the tournaments. Though, like, that's fine, just fight. Like the fact that they turned the Cell Saga into a tournament thing, I'm like, that's great. Let's do that.
Don't think too hard about it. Just enjoy the fights.
We should have a tournament arc.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I had the Neon White tournament.
Yeah, and I won
and
that.
Like
I wasn't
arcade
there.
Bit.
You didn't exist yet. Did you exist yet?
Yeah, but I was I did, but like I wasn't invited yet, and I was way better at everyone. And I was so good that it somehow has
Grub intentionally kept you out. Yeah.
Why are you trying to besmirch Alex Boniello's name as the champion of?
Well, I don't think Alex Boniello got into the top 100 all-time leaderboard in Neon White, but
get his ass.
I mean, he could try. He could.
He was too busy winning Tony Awards and being in. Like the Descendants. Oh, I'm that when I go home and see my nieces, I'm gonna be like, I know him. You make me watch another Descendants movie, and I've been made to watch Descendants movie, guys, and let me tell you. They are like they're a journey, but like they capture the same amount of I think is it the same guy who does High School Musical? Because it definitely captures that vibe.
Kenny Ortega, baby.
I unapologetically like really enjoyed it. So I was just like, they're gonna make me watch more of them. I made them watch High School Musical, but I'm gonna be like, I know that guy.
I'm not allowed to participate in this conversation.
No, you're not. You're not. I'm sorry.
It's because you weren't a DCOM boy.
Excuse me?
A Disney Channel original movie.
I wasn't. That is kind of
that what that is? DCOMs?
Yeah.
I definitely thought it meant like rom-com, but Disney.
I didn't have the Disney Channel like my friend Beth did, so I would go around to her house and we would watch High School Musical was always on. We went to the cinema to see High School Musical 3, and
that was actually released in theaters.
Yeah, and we saw it. It was great.
Shouts out to Baby V. Sorry.
We also watched Camp Rock.
Okay. Yes.
And
Camp
the Hannah
Rock.
Montana movie, whatever, and
I also enjoy the Descendants movies. Especially hearing that they're continuing the canon of the Filipino prince and Brandy as Cinderella. I can get down with that. Hell yeah. Let's watch some DCOMs and drink some 40s, huh?
Let's
do that. I still really want to do film in 40s with the High School Musical trilogy.
I rewatched High School Musical 1 last time I was back in the UK, and there's one scene in particular where Gabriella is singing in the bathroom, in the women's bathroom, and then Sharpay goes in, Gabriella hides, and then, like, is like, oh, can't find her, storms out, and then Gabriella just, like, comes out, and so Sharpay would have been looking directly at her, like, they made eye contact. It's great. It's perfect. It's comedy. It's perfect.
Okay.
You can even write it. It's so good.
I have a question.
Yes.
Mike, you have immunity for this question. I will take the heat for it.
Tam
No. I'll take the
Tam
heat for it. Tam, I'll take the heat for this one. The topic that just happened, was that just like past your time due to age and you just don't know a lot about it?
A little bit, yeah. I haven't seen most of those. Like a lot of the stuff that happened on a specific channel that's nondescript.
Yes.
That was not really my scene.
Okay, gotcha.
Interesting.
I'm
But I'd be
very
happy to catch up sometime. I'll drink beers and watch whatever.
Hey, I'm just happy that we live in a world where High School Musical is okay and Glee turns out to be the problematic show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glee
Okay.
Has like an alarming amount of people who were on Glee have died.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Fucked up.
what?
Maybe they were involved in some stuff or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that too.
But
Yeah.
I haven't been keeping up on it. What's up?
I
with
mean,
that
the
show?
guy who played
What's
it
going on?
Puck on Glee
Was
died.
the guy that played Finn also passed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the big one
Um,
back in the day because
and then there was another woman.
Naya Rivera?
Yeah, accidental drowning. God, awful. Like,
Oh my god. Man, look at this.
Yeah.
I was like, where are they now? It's like, oh, not great.
Well, we'll never make it to regionals now. But the final email of the show comes from Jebec from Quebec. Hey, bombers
Yeah.
and duders. On the dump truck, we played a game where you had to describe yourself using 2 words that rhyme. There was Jerf skating and hating, Bacalar, and Dan shooting and tooting, Reichert, etc. It's round 2. Describe the city you live in using the same format. I'll be real with y'all. I just booked tickets. As you are recording this live, I will be on a Boston City tour bus named Mobsters and Lobsters, and I can't wait. Jebec from Quebec. San Francisco.
So it would be like Lucy, San Francisco, and
Well, in this instance, it would just be
Bay
San
Area.
Francisco. So, like Foggy and Soggy.
Foggy and Soggy.
Foggy
It's
and
kinda
Soggy,
right,
San
isn't it?
Francisco.
Sounds right.
It's kind of correct
Yeah.
based on my experience.
How do you rhyme cheese and football?
One Ohio is white, but all right.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
hilly but
Squilly.
thrilly.
Oh, okay.
Hilly but thrilly. I like
Hilly
it.
but thrilly.
Okay. What about one for Newcastle?
You guys have a Newcastle too?
Well, the thing about Newcastle is that we actually have like a pretty infamous song called "Fog on the Tyne." Fog on the Tyne is all mine, all mine. Fog on the Tyne is all mine. No.
I don't know how
That's an
infamous
advert
this
from
song
something
is.
else.
Tyne
Yeah, I
and
gotta be
mine.
on it.
Newcastle, best place in the United Kingdom. How do I put that into? Oh, there is
Yeah, we have
there's
a
an actual
Newcastle.
dump truck outside my house.
We have a Newcastle here. Are you sure yours isn't the old castle?
God damn it, Mike.
All right.
Goddamn.
Thank you, everyone, for writing emails in. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails
I didn't
to.
think that was gonna end
He
this.
was so happy with that. He was so happy with that.
Who's so pleased. There's a certain stance that Mikey gets when he's like, I'm about to fire off a good one.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a
This is my
banger.
best shot.
When those arms get crossed,
Fine.
dude, watch out.
Old castle.
When
Potential
he's
title
like
for the
leaning his
episode.
head on one hand, he's ready to straight shoot.
Shit! Oh, you're getting my poker tells now. Shit!
That's right. I just watch everyone constantly.
Oh no, I'm in trouble.
All right, that about does it for emails. We've reached the end of this podcast. What's going on this week? No Game Mess mornings for the rest of this week because Jeff Grubb is on vacation. He
Yeah,
better not
no
be
plug
listening
club.
to the show. Go unplug
He was in the
from
chat
internet.
earlier. I told
Ban
him.
him. I'm gonna take away his CMS access.
Do it.
I'm gonna give it to Mike. See what Mike does.
Oh, you're not. Everyone's gonna like that. You see, he was at a Rainforest Cafe the other day. I'm so happy for him.
I'm also happy for him. I am curious about the various foods at the Rainforest Cafe. We'll have a stream tomorrow, an unprofessional Wednesday. We may get down to some business with some monkey ball stuff, but since it's a holiday week here in the States, we will be taking Thursday and Friday off, so no dump truck. Also, the driver of the dump truck is in disrepair, so we hope he heals up. Shouts out
Wait,
to
what
Big
happened
Dog.
to Bacalar?
What didn't happen to Bacalar?
Oh
He's
no!
messed up, man.
He's messed up.
Yeah.
It is not the summer of Bacalar, it turns out.
No, not really. No, not at all.
No. But yes, we also have some fun surprises lined up for the rest of this week. Shawn has been working furiously, and we should buy you a hard drive because of some of that stuff.
Yeah, maybe you should. But yeah, I got a secret project I'm working on. So everyone, pay attention to our social media accounts because you might see a little hint of something that we've been cooking up.
Speaking about social media accounts, our good old buddy Tom Caswell has been spearheading a very special thing that we hope to roll out very, very soon to celebrate some certain milestones. Reminder to myself and everyone here, record your shit by the end of tomorrow. Just so we get that to Tom. Anyway.
What, do I have something to do?
Yes.
Don't worry, we told you about this.
This
is your fault this time.
Oh, you might? Okay, well, remind me after.
We'll remind you after.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
In the meantime, what did we learn today? We learned that Filipinos are surprisingly from the Philippines. There's discourse happening constantly about games. We learned to watch out for the Bossa Nova boys. We learned that Peter Griffin riding a DeLorean would get me into Crazy Taxi. We also learned that maybe Fall Out Boy shouldn't have written a new version of We Didn't Start the Fire. We learned about upcoming movies like Despicable Me, Last Action Hero, and Now You, Lucy Me. And we also learned that all horses are bad, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Miss Dredd. Go outside. No, I'm not going to advocate for punching horses. Don't punch any type of animal, please. Don't.
Unless they're cops also.
Even then, I feel like it's going to be a bad time.
Might still end up in jail for that
You
one.
still might end up in jail. And that's,
Well,
and
yeah,
that's,
you end up in jail if you punch a cop too, but you know.
Anyone or anything, unless it's a boxing
some
match.
people need to be
Boxing.
punched, and I'm just going to... Don't punch horses, no matter their profession.
Don't punch
you know?
animals.
Don't punch an animal.
They gotta make a living somehow.
Exactly. They got to contribute to society somehow. God dang it. That about does it for the Giant Bomb cast. We will be here next week for another lovely episode of Giant Bombcast. I've been Jan. She's been Lucy. He's been Turbo. Shawn. He's been Mike. And he was Tam. Tam was here too. If you tuned in late, we'll see you next week.
I did it, Tam.
We'll
I
see
made
you-
it through.
We'll see you next week for another lovely episode of the show. The Giant Bombcast is brought to you by you lovely people. Look at you. Go drink some water. Go drink some water. Go stretch. And we'll see you next week. I love you.